Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division Season 10, right here on NHL Gamer. My name is Tuki, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Sin. And Sin, what a night we are in store for. You can't ask for much more. The top 4 teams in the Elite Division this year involved, at least thus far, involved in tonight's matchups. Can't wait to see how this goes down. hREDS and Jyväsyklä, and then the showdown of showdowns. A rematch from last year's final HAVU Gaming and Linköping HC.
Yeah, this first series, we saw hREDS last week take 2 games off of HAVU, and they're going to be looking to do the same against Jyväsyklä now. And I think even if they're able to take a game off of Jyväsyklä, who is yet to be beat in regulation, I think they would kind of, firmly place themselves. That top 3, that big 3 as we've been calling it, I think is going to be firmly a big 4 with hREDS if they're able to take a game off Jyväsyklä. And if they get the 2, like they did off HAVU, I think there is no question of their validity up there with the top dogs.
Still plenty of opportunity for hREDS again to make this a big 4 and to potentially stun the entire league. Not that Jyväsyklä doesn't have the opportunity to do the same thing, because you start this season and you think, okay, last year's finalists in HAVU and Linköping, they're going to be right back at the top. But Jyväsyklä 17-0-1 thus far, throwing a little bit of a wrench into those plans. Let's get you a look at the lineups for tonight's game. Again, a home-and-home series between hREDS and Jyväsyklä to start off. Red on red. We'll see who can claim that color for their own. And again, later on, we'll be covering the matchup again, HAVU Gaming and Linköping. But Sin, some big names, if you are familiar with this league, a lot to break down. And of course, very excited to see how this all plays out. Again, right now, a battle between hREDS in 4th, Jyväsyklä in 3rd. Again, the top 4 fully on display here tonight, as we'll hopefully get you a look at the team stats here as well to just kind of display the talent level that is going to be on display here with this first series. And again, so important at this stage, the back half of the regular season, for both of these teams to walk away with all 4 points.
Absolutely, and I think hRED's really going to be looking to kind of duplicate what they did against HAVU and play to their strengths. Remember, Yoki was very good charging down that left wing side, using his speed to kind of throw off the defense of HAVU. We'll see if he'll be able to do that against Jyväsyklä here, but as we get a look at those team stats, you see a reason why Jyväsyklä is as good as they are. The goals for and the goals against, that's just an incredible ratio to have. Now, they are 3rd in goals for, so definitely they're up there, but for a team who hasn't been beat in regulation, you'd think, maybe they would be scoring more goals, but it's the goals against that does it. They are the best defensive team. hREDS is going to have their work cut out for them trying to score goals against them.
Absolutely. Let's get into the individual breakdown, starting off, as always, with the center matchup. As we do, we have the captain of hREDS, Benito, leading the way against Antti on the other side. And Sin, 2 very impressive point totals. Antti, obviously, with that slight edge, 6-point difference right there. But I suppose the question is, as always, because we always look to the center matchup, who's going to step up defensively, who's going to be able to win those key draws, who has the advantage, at least on paper, heading into this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's interesting to me is that Antti, despite being, the center of one of the top teams here, has a sub-50 face-off percentage. You normally do not see that. Usually, these good teams, have a center who's really putting up good face-off numbers from him. Now, he's not too far off of Benito, but I think that could play a big factor here is if Jyväsyklä is really able to dominate the game, it's going to start a lot with possession, and hRED's ability to counterattack and sort of, throw their game at Jyväsyklä, I think, could also start with possession when they could really get their speed on the wings going. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes, especially in those offensive and defensive zone draws.
Absolutely. Taking a look at the winger matchup now for hREDS, we have Yoki and Nicky Dangles. For Jyväsyklä, it's Kriketsky and the captain of the team, Indian. Again, Sin, some very impressive point totals on display in this winger matchup. Both of these teams, not that the centers are pushovers, but certainly, live and die off of the offensive, the offensive output generated by these wingers.
Yeah, and Kriketsky just seems to be that jack of all trades. 21 goals, 6th in the league. 22 assists, good enough for 9th in the league. Top 10 among skaters, 43 points, 6th in the league. And to top it all off, he leads the league in hits with 225, and I think he's like a solid 40 to 50 hits above the next guy there. I mean, this guy is just a beast anywhere on the ice. So look for him to be throwing his weight around, getting that forecheck going, and really pressuring the defense of hREDS.
Absolutely. And speaking of the defense for hREDS, set me up there wonderfully. I appreciate that indeed. For hREDS, we have Yanzu and Teemu as always. And on the flip side, it's Domi and Ilmari. Again, a strong return for Ilmari to the Elite Division. No surprise there. We talked about how he was down in Pro last year. Wondering if there might have been some stumbles in terms of him returning to the Elite level. No point per game at this stage in the season. Not all that surprising. But Sin, of course, it's always interesting when we have a defensive matchup like this, when you have multiple teams, when both teams have multiple defenders that can really help lead the offense and contribute on the scoreboard.
Absolutely, and as we see so often here, maybe more so often in EuroLeague, it seems to be, kind of one defenseman really getting the majority of the points, the other one being the stay-at-home. But as we get into these top 3, top 4 teams now, you really see that both of those defensemen have to be contributors offensively. Maybe just the beneficiaries of some great plays, secondary assists, but at the same time, you are still a big part of the offense. And, we see that especially from Teemu there, 25 shots, 8th. I mean, that's pretty good especially for defensemen. Oftentimes we see them not getting a whole ton of shots through. But yeah, I mean, Domi, Ilmari, both of them have 16 assists. That's tied for 5th amongst defensemen. 18 points for Ilmari, tied for 5th. I mean, it's a lot of firepower back there. And as scary as that front 3 is for each of these teams, you cannot ignore the defense because they will light you up.
That's the great thing about the matchups that we have today is every single team likes to get the defense involved, so it should make for some very interesting games, and that chess match in the offensive zone is going to be very exciting to watch to see how it all plays out. So you talked about Jyväskylä being the top defensive team in the league, having spectacular goals against numbers, and that is because of the man between the pipes. As we get a look at the goaltending matchup, it's Nike for hREDS. And again, on that right-hand side, the top goaltender in the Elite Division thus far, it's Sibelius Sin. Very interesting matchup here.
Absolutely. You got the top goaltender in the league. I mean, first save percentage, first goals against first, tied for first in shutouts. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. He is an incredible goaltender. Then we have Nike on the other side, and while his numbers may not be to his liking, we saw last week, he did an incredible job of helping to shut down HAVU. I mean, they only scored, I think it was 3 goals total over those 2 games, if I'm not mistaken with my memory. I mean, he firmly inserted himself into that starting role. We were talking about how there may be a bit of a goalie controversy. Well, it looks like they're going to send Nike against the big dogs once again here. He's got a chance to, sort of prove his worth once again against Jyväskylä, another top team.
Huge night for him yet again. Very intrigued to see how this plays out, of course, as we get ready for the first game of 2 between these 2 teams. Again, point percentage being what it is as it stands. hREDS currently in 4th in the league, Jyväskylä in 3rd. And again, later on, we'll have the matchup between 1 and 2, HAVU Gaming and Linköping. What a night it is set up to be. There you see the updated standings. And we talked about it, Sim, with hREDS, the opportunity, the games at hand, particularly on HAVU, the opportunity to really kind of make this a big 4, because you see there, Kova Esports just 2 points back, 4 more games played than hREDS at this point in time. And of course, as we talked about, the log jam as these teams continue to fight for those playoff spots on the left-hand side of the bracket. Not too many teams right now that are feeling as though their opportunity to make it has passed them by.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, there's a bit more separation now with Unlucky Boys up there with 22 points. But again, they've played 2 more games than the next 2 guys below them. And, even 3 if you are looking at Brace Phantoms there. I mean, plenty of opportunity for those teams to, have a great day, get a big 4 points and jump right into the playoff picture. But yeah, you talked a bit about, hREDS right there with the 2 games in hand and a chance to move up. But Jyväskylä, same thing. They've only played 18 games. They have 2 games in hand on Linköping, 4 in hand on HAVU. I mean, if they're able to sort of make, short work on hREDS, pick up a nice 3 or 4 points, they're right there in second place with another 2 games in hand on HAVU still. I mean, it's going to be an intense matchup here.
Absolutely. So with that, let's get back to the individual matchup here. Again, hREDS and Jyväskylä coming up soon. So let's take a look at the keys to success for hREDS in this series. First and foremost, quality versus quantity. Quantity versus quality. Call it what you will, but that is a key factor here. For hREDS, 4th most goals scored on the 6th fewest amount of shots taken this season, whereas Jyväskylä have the 3rd most goals on the 3rd most amount of shots. So it's going to be very intriguing to see what offensive strategy wins out and whether or not hREDS stick to that strategy of quality over quantity. Hit or be hit. Again, you look at these 2 teams directly. hREDS are the least physical team in the league, which you might expect from a team that has a top 4 offense. You have more of the puck, less time to hit. But on the flip side, Jyväskylä, 3rd most hits in the league, despite more impressive offensive totals. So for hREDS, I think it's kind of simple here. You got to move the puck quickly and try to neutralize that physical edge that Jyväskylä have. And again, Sim, we already talked about him. What are we going to see from Nikke today? Again, the rough start to the season. He was extremely impressive against HAVU as hREDS pulled off the double. We need to see what version of Nikke is going to show up today. If he has another strong game, again, hREDS more than likely going to be successful in their attempt to prove that it is indeed a big 4 and not just a big 3 here in the elite division. That brings us over to the keys for Jyväskylä. Sin, why don't you break it down? What do they have to do?
Well, they have a bit of a double-edged sword here. I mean, they are 3rd in hits, a very good physical game. But on the flip side here, it does kind of put them into situations where they turn the puck over themselves as well. So it's a good thing to force turnovers, but they do have quite a lot of giveaways. 2 of their players have over 200 on the season. So they're definitely going to have to clean up that side of the game today, because if they don't, hREDS will have an opening there. Speaking of openings, the Achilles heel. Yip does a great job of staying out of the penalty box despite the physicality for the most part. But if today they go into the box, I mean, their penalty kill is ranked 10th out of 16 teams. That's kind of low for one of these top teams. I mean, that could be something that is exploited here in this matchup. It'll take, a lot of good work from their best penalty killer, which leads us to the last point. Crease Lightning, Sibelius, the top goaltender in the league. If he plays to his ability, I mean, Yip could, in fact, be taking that top seed away from the team. I mean, he has been fantastic tonight. Jyväskylä clearly relies on him to make the first save, make the big save, steal games for them when they need it. Because as we mentioned in, a bit in the pregame, 3rd in goals, goals for, only 60 as compared to, what we see Linköping and HAVU put up. So, yeah, Sibelius is going to play a huge part in this matchup tonight.
Absolutely. So again, moments away from puck drop. The first game of 2 between hREDS and Jyväskylä. Again, a massive doubleheader on deck for you tonight. Again, this battle of 3rd against 4th. Later on, the top 2 teams in the elite division will go head-to-head as well. Again, a friendly reminder that these teams playing for the largest prize pool in competitive NHL history. And in terms of the teams you're going to see today, all of them have a spectacular chance of bringing home that prize pool, taking the crown, declaring themselves champions. So very intrigued to see how this all plays out today. And of course, we want to remind you, as always, you're watching on Twitch right now, for example. Here's one thing you can do. Drop a follow if you haven't already. That would be spectacular. We'd greatly appreciate it. Also, feel free to check out NHL Gamer as well on Twitter and Instagram, NHLGamer.com, for all the information that you need, not just when it comes to the ECL side of things in the 4 divisions that we have, but of course, when it comes to the North American side of things as well as the playoffs are in full swing. Sin, we are ready to go. The puck has dropped. So excited to see how this one's going to play out tonight.
Absolutely. We'll see if that neutral zone game, the kind of trap back and forth will be a factor here early on, or if one team will find early openings.
hREDS in possession here in the white, Jyväskylä in the black. We'll see what hREDS are able to do early on. Cycling it down low now in the corner, tries to send it back to the point, and nobody there. So intriguing already that you saw Janzu pinching as far as he was. Might be a strategy from hREDS throughout this series as they look to get the defense involved. We talked about that, Sin, how aggressive the defense is willing to be on both sides of the puck, for both teams, for that matter.
Absolutely, and hREDS love to kind of sneak one of those defensemen in for the one-timer, so perhaps they were doing that.
Bit of space for Antti, tries to throw it back in front. Still an opportunity, but Omari just couldn't find the space. Here we see the forecheck from Jyväskylä. Back in possession, sauces it on net. Loose puck, still there. Can't find a way to tuck it home. Great chance for Indy on the opening opportunity. For Jyväskylä, a bit of space here. Yoki can't find the cut inside. Great recovery by Domi for Jyväskylä. So both teams already finding their way through. We often wonder if the neutral zone trap is going to be kind of the prominent thing that we see throughout the opening 10 minutes or so of the first period. And so far, not exactly the case. Good interception there, though, by Antti. Now again, it's Indy sending it down low for Kruketsky. Back in front. Pass is not successful. hREDS back in possession, but can they find their way through the neutral zone this time? Great move by Benito, but just ran out of space. He recovers here. Down low for Nicky Dangles, trying to find his way back to the point, and he does. One-timer doesn't go through. Huge opportunity again for hREDS. Stretch pass unsuccessful, and that'll go down for icing. 11:04 remaining here in the first period. So again, Sin, good opportunities for both teams here to start things off.
Yeah, we've seen them already kind of find some cracks and exploit them. We talked about it a bit in the pregame. Yoki's speed down the left side, and he did that to beat him, but it was a great recovery by Domi there to kind of break that play up.
Good defensive zone draw win for Antti. Domi looking for space here. He's going to carry it all the way through. Cycles back. Not able to find the pass. Good interception from Nicky Dangles, but he hands it right back to Jyväskylä. So I think that's going to be the key already here for hREDS. Get those turnovers, but still maintain puck possession in the aftermath. As again, Jyväskylä unable to find their way into the zone. Stretch pass from Janzo does not find its target, but no icing on the call. So a bullet dodge there for hREDS. Again, we talk about the center matchup. Good hit there by Yoki. hREDS recover again. Quickly poked away, though. Great defensive display from Ilmari. But we see Yoki constantly in Ilmari's face on the forecheck. Jyväskylä having trouble with the pressure right now. Good shrug off there by Domi. Again, turned over and back again. Kruketsky into the zone. Now along the half wall, back to the point. One-time opportunity. They don't take it, and a hit there. Great job by Teemu to separate his man from the puck. As Sin, this first period is flying by right now as these two teams continue to jostle for the offensive foothold that they both desire. Two extremely high-scoring teams, as you would expect to see from two teams in the top four. As hREDS recover, we'll see what Janzo is able to do here on the breakout. Sauce pass doesn't go. Benito can't recover it. So Yip back in control. Domi, again, able to shrug off the pressure from Nicky Dangles. Now here's Indy for Jyväskylä, the captain of the team. Tries to get into the middle. He can't do it. Great defense from Janzu, and he's able to find the outlet pass. Final 3 minutes to play here in a very fast-paced first period. Both teams getting those offensive chances early on, but to the back half of this period, not much is happening. As Domi able to step in, has a chance in front, just doesn't find its way home. Tremendous opportunity for Kruketsky. Somehow didn't find the back of the net. The best chance for either side thus far. Huge steal from Domi here. Can he make something of it? He cannot. Great defense there from Janzu. He was on his opposite side. He was able to get it done. Final minute of play here. The turnover. Chance in front. Still loose. Big save by Nick A. An early chance there, or late chance there, I should say. One of the early chances of the game. Again, perhaps the best chance of the game. Final 5 seconds. Puck thrown on. Rebound doesn't go. Last chance. Thrown back to the point. So big opportunities on both sides for both left wingers in Kruketsky and Yoki, but nobody able to find the back of the net thus far, Sim.
Yeah, we saw a really precise play there, especially at the end from Jyväskylä. Their passing, you could just see why they're a top team. Just the little adjustments they make with their skill sticks or their skating, just to find at that little gap. That was a dangerous play. Probably not the rebound that Sibelius was hoping for off of that weak backhand, but a great recovery there by Ilmari to kind of take that away from Yoki there, who was really in a good position to kind of bat that one home. But yeah, I mean, Jyväskylä with the advantage on the stat line, but I still felt like hREDS was really presenting a threat there, and neither team, I think, had the distinct advantage in that period.
We'll see if either team can grab that foothold that they're looking for. First goal here is going to be crucial. We saw that when hREDS played HAVU last week, how important those early goals were. Puck down low here, thrown back in front, intercepted. Jyväskylä back in possession. As Domi looking to step up, Kraketsky stays on side. Domi still has it. Down low, the toe drag, tried to find a pass back in front. Antti doing everything he could to bide some time. It didn't happen. Chance here for Yoki. Can he find his way through the traffic? Still has it, but no shot on net. Puck in the corner. Yep, able to recover yet again. Good hit there from Benito. Over to his defenseman. Looks to step in. Brings it down low now into the corner. Back in front. Doesn't go through. Loose puck was there, but Domi was able to recover. Turnover here from Jyväskylä. hREDS still on the attack. Teemu able to recover at the point. Now back down the half wall into the corner. Benito struggles to maintain puck possession. Don't know what he lost it on there. Unfortunate turn of events, and yep, back in control as Omari will look for space. We've seen Domi step up quite a few times. Omari couldn't find the room. Yoki and Nicky Dangles on the attack for hREDS. No pass across. Loose puck still on the goal line and covered by Sibelius. So a huge moment there for hREDS on the net drive, but no dice on that attempt.
Yeah, hREDS really coming out strong here in the beginning, really forcing the turnovers in the Jyväskylä zone, and that one too at their own blue line. They were able to force that turnover, get an odd man rush the other way, and yeah, you said it, that puck was just sitting there on the goal line. Great net drive from Yoki, just couldn't put that puck in.
Stretch pass doesn't go. Jyväskylä will be facing another defensive zone face-off. Antti winning the last one, doing a good job thus far. We'll see if he can win this one, or if Benito can establish a bit of offensive zone time, a little bit more offensive zone time for hREDS. Crucial draw, tie up, recovered by hREDS, shot saved by Sibelius again, robbing Yoki. And Jyväskylä limited to just that one chance, and I think that's going to be a key for both teams. Can you limit it to just one chance at a shot? The sauce pass doesn't go through. Intercepted by Yoki, but he's having trouble. Finds Janzu, looking to step up, sends it over to the right-hand side. Benito able to recover. Easy for me to say. The fast-paced action here, chance in front. Benito somehow misses the back post. Shot deflects just wide. Huge opportunities for hREDS on an offensive possession that really started out of nowhere, but ultimately unable to make the most of it. Domi has it here. Looks to step in, brings it into the corner now. Cycles it back in front, saved by Nikke. Jyväskylä able to recover. Another chance for Domi. Working it down in the corner, throws it in front. A shot blocked in front. Great chance for Kraketsky. But Sin, as you mentioned, there is a trip. Jyväskylä going to the power play. That's going to be Janzu going to the box. Huge chance here for Jyp.
Absolutely. They have a pretty good power play, 26% on the season. We'll see if they're able to capitalize here, but a good clear early on by hREDS.
Yeah, spectacular clear early on, all things considered. hREDS, not one of the best teams in the league on the penalty kill, 12th out of 16 teams on the kill this season. So a huge chance for Jyväskylä. Brutal turnover there, though, unfortunately. Domi has it down low. Shot! It sneaks in! Jyväskylä have the opening goal. They take advantage of the man advantage. 1-0 on a solid goal, a milestone goal at that.
Yep, and that is why you need to get that puck out. Those soft plays along the boards, sometimes they may relieve pressure down low, but they don't relieve the pressure on the zone. We see the result right there. Jyväskylä jumps on it, the D-to-D pass, the pass down low again, and he sneaks that through on the short side. Nikke's got to kind of be feeling a little bit bad about that one. He kind of did hug the post, maybe a tad too late, and I mean, just a couple inches over the goal line. Sometimes that's all you need. Jyväskylä up 1-0. He's giving a lap to the crowd right there. You think he's hyped about that one?
You know, some might say that's breaking a written rule, but you know, you like to see the players celebrate the milestones on occasion. You never know. Good thing it's not a playoff game, Sinner. I think despite it being typically against the rules, we might see some physicality. Although we did see some physicality there. A huge hit back in the neutral zone. Let's see how hREDS respond. Again, Antti getting that goal to put Jyväskylä up by 1 on the power play. Turnover here. Yoki not able to find the pass back. So again, we talked about it. hREDS, not one of the top penalty kills in the league, and it comes back to haunt them early on.
Yeah, and it all stems from just not being able to get that puck out. They got that first clear. It's just that second one, as you mentioned, kind of a brutal turnover right there. Let's see if they're able to get a bit of something here on their transition. They keep trying to feed Yoki there on that left side, trying to utilize his speed, but I think Jyväskylä catching on to that and starting to neutralize that threat.
Close chance there for Nicky Dangles. Sim, we're going to have another power play coming. Jyväskylä again. It's a slashing call on the center. The captain, Benito, he'll take a seat. Huge chance for Yip to double the lead.
Almost worst case scenario. That's your man taking the face-offs. They're going to have Nicky Dangles, I believe, step in here. So huge chance for Jyväskylä to extend this lead here on the power play.
We'll see how the face-off goes. Huge chance. Antti wants to clean the shot. Big save by Nicky Robin Kriketsky. Great set play off the draw for Jyväskylä in the opening moments of the man advantage. Again, striking on the man advantage just a few moments ago. We'll see if they can do it again. Domi takes his time, feeds it down low. Chance there for Antti again to find a pass, and he does. It's Kriketsky down in the corner. We'll see what they look to do. Antti taking his time. Shot hits the side of the net. Will be covered by Nicky, and we'll have a huge face-off here with 2:27 to go here in the second period. Again, the first game of two between these two teams. Jyväskylä, the 1-0 lead. Again, as Sin mentioned, 17-0-1 on the season, yet to be defeated in regulation. Another huge face-off win there. A little bit of miscommunication there as India wasn't able to make the play. Again, kept in by Omari. The shot wide of the net. Recovered, thrown back in front. And you might think that Jyväskylä would want a second chance at that play, but one final rush here. A chance to get established before we're back to 5-on-5. Kriketsky throws it in front, turns it over. Battle for the puck. Good poke by Omari to keep it in. Sent back down low. Kriketsky's there. Able to fend off the pressure from Teemu. Now back to the point. Slap shot doesn't go through. Teemu trying to hold on to it here. Final 30 seconds of play. Janzu settles it down. We'll see what hREDS can do. Trying to ensure that they have the final shot here. Benito, a little bit of trouble. Loose puck still. Recovered by Jyväskylä. Indy will wind down the clock. And Sin, as you mentioned, worst case scenario for hREDS to take that follow-up penalty. They are able to kill it off, but still find themselves trailing 1-0 here heading into the third period due to their lack of discipline.
And we see just how much power plays for a team, even if you don't score on them, can really swing the momentum. hREDS had a great start to that second period, seemingly really taking it to Jyväskylä, getting the zone time. Their forecheck was rolling. They're getting neutral zone turnovers. All of a sudden, they get into penalty trouble, and it was all Jyväskylä from there on out at the tail end of the period. And even though they didn't score on that second power play, they got a lot of the same sort of chances that they wanted. The set play off the face-off, that one-timer, I mean, almost, picking the corner right there. And again, hREDS just seeming to have trouble with their clears. There's a few soft ones, the one around the board again, and then I think it was Janzu. He might have misaimed it. He shot it directly towards the left boards, and Jyväskylä were able to recover that and maintain their zone pressure. So they didn't end up paying for it. But yeah, a couple sloppy moments on the penalty kill for hREDS. If they want a chance to come back in this one, they're going to have to stay out of the box here in the third period.
We'll see how it all breaks down. Again, ready for this third period. Very excited to see how this plays out. Let's see how this goes. Very excited for, again, this game just in general, Sin. Exciting times to have the series available here to call that we do. Chance for Kriketsky, the pass in front. Still, Antti denied on the doorstep. Nicky tested early. Chance for Kriketsky. Loose puck still. Now it's on top of the goal. Will we have a face-off? We will. They ultimately blow the whistles. So a couple of moments of opportunity for Jyväskylä here through the first minute and 14 of the period. As you get a look at the face-offs, tied at 5 apiece. Not the start that hREDS would have wanted. Those scary moments to kick things off. Puck back down low. Chance again. Great play and a great save. Or should I say great play and an even better save. Nicky somehow tracking that one. Jyväskylä taking advantage of the space. That was a tremendous set play. Tremendous passing.
Yeah, that's how dangerous the down-low cycle can get. I mean, when you get two of those guys sort of behind the net and they start getting those passes off, you can sneak someone in that slot very well. But a good job from Nicky Dangles as well. He was there, didn't get the shot blocked, but he was there making the attempts.
Space here, and he throws it in front, intercepted well. Teemu defends in spectacular fashion. Chance here, in front, backhand save by Sibelius, robbing Janzu on the step-up. hREDS still in possession, scrambled forward in front. Jyväskylä come up with it. Stretch pass down the wall. Ilmari's there. Still protects. Great poke check, though, from Benito on the back pressure. Again, as we see both teams' defensemen getting involved and trying to make the most of these offensive opportunities to really blow this game wide open, as this will go down for icing. 14:34 remaining here in the third period. Again, the first game of two that you will be seeing here between fourth place hREDS and third place Jyväskylä. Again, the battle of 1 and 2 between Linköping and HAVU Gaming coming up after this. It is a major day in the season. The opportunity poked away, still loose. Sibelius, I believe, makes another save there. So hREDS still getting these opportunities. Can they make the most of it off of the turnover? They can, as Kruketsky is able to recover possession. Now it's Indy, the captain, looking for space. He'll send it down low. Recovered by Antti. Kruketsky denied! What a save by Nikke on the off-angle one-timer. What a play that was. Nikke stepping up right now for hREDS in spectacular fashion.
Huge save, and that's what we see a lot from these top teams. They are not afraid for those hard angle one-timers, and Nikke had to come out huge right there to keep this game within reach for his team. Excellent save.
We'll see how hREDS respond. Janzo able to find a little bit of space. Benito has trouble on the pressure. Teemu holds on, one-timer, deflects, save, loose puck was there, but again, recovered by Domi. He and Omari are doing such a great job for Jyväskylä in minimizing second chance opportunities as we approach the halfway point of this third period. Jyväskylä turn it over at the blue line. Chance here for hREDS on the counter. Janzu dishes it off to his defenseman. Great drop pass there to maintain possession. Nicky Dangles. Now Benito on the half wall. The spin move. Still has it. Tries to get it in front. He can't do it. Antti was there. Recovered again by Benito. Shot on. Saved by Sibelius. Loose puck still. Recovered by Yip. Chance now for Antti. Burst of speed. Dishes it off to Kruketsky. Circles back. Looks for space. Tried to send it down low. Great job by Teemu. Big hit there by Antti. Kruketsky has it. Back to the point. Domi shot denied by Nikke. Kruketsky back down low. Pass in front. Another kick save. Nikke with a phenomenal performance here, but will it be enough? He's finally going to be able to cover it off the sauce attempt from Indy in front. Sin, what a performance to keep this a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, he is standing on his head back there. The quick passes from Jyväskylä, once they get it down low, are just something to behold. But Nikke right there, lightning fast with his reflexes.
Big offensive zone draw win. Will they be able to maintain possession? They do. Domi loses it, though. Yoki, a bit of space to work with. Unable to shrug off the physical presence. But still now, hREDS back in possession. Big hit there. Jyväskylä back on the attack. Step up from Elmari. Fought for on the half wall. Loses it in the double team. But again, Jyväskylä back in control. 5 minutes to play here in regulation. Indy sends it low. Kruketsky recovers. Tried to quickly go back to the point. Nicky Dangles is there. We'll see what Benito can do. Look to find Yoki. He's going to be able to recover and neutralize the icing. But a loose puck again. Recovered by Yip. Chance here for Indy. Looking for space. Drops it off at the point. Domi for Kruketsky. Looking for space. The spin move back in front. Indy can't get the shot off. Kruketsky. Great look. But an even better interception from Benito. Final 2.5 minutes to play here in regulation. Can hREDS find a way to tie this one up? They missed time. The dump-in attempt, and a wise move there, Sin, to play it up and stop the clock with 2:07 to go.
Definitely. They needed a bit of a break there. Benito's been pretty good on the face-offs for them, but they just needed to reset there. They did not want Jyväskylä with a chance to kind of break it out the other way.
Are you surprised at the lack of a timeout?
A little bit, actually. I mean, especially with what we're looking at, some of the stamina bars, but perhaps
down low, thrown in front. Still an opportunity here. Nicky Dangles shot, deflects Sibelius with a great save. 59 seconds to go. Knew it was a dangerous situation to try and get you a word in edgewise with the timeout, and we are going to see one there as expected. But again, hey, it worked out. You didn't call the timeout there. Perhaps you didn't need the energy boost, but a deflection in front. Sibelius able to shut the door. Again, Sin, that positioning, arguably why he is the top goaltender in the elite division this season.
Yeah, and I think what they were waiting for was some kind of offensive zone draw or something in that last minute. You know, the last minute's real time. You have them, kind of, it's just the most time to make something of it where you can really put the pressure on, even pull the goalie if you want. But yeah, definitely there with it wasn't them, was it?
I actually don't know who called the timeout, but regardless, we're back. We'll see what hREDS can do here. Benito dishes it back to the point. Chance shot finds its way through. Sibelius able to make the save, though. 50.1 on the clock. So, Sin, you're postulating that Jyväskylä were the ones to call the timeout there.
Yeah, because
didn't notice.
We have Nick Dangle's ankle, I believe, and he still was in the yellow for his stamina. So very curious why hREDS holding this timeout.
Chance shot just wide. Yep, back in possession, but not for long. Benito dishes it in front. Nobody home. Chance now for Domi. You see the pressure from hREDS all out right now. Benito shot from an odd angle. Loose puck. Sibelius is able to cover. hREDS throwing everything at the goal that they possibly can, but Sibelius standing tall thus far. 35 seconds to play, and we'll see what happens here. You saw, though, Nicky looked to pause there to check something, but again, the timeout not available. The puck kicked all the way back to the hREDS zone. 30 seconds to play. Still a 1-0 lead for Jyväskylä. Again, hREDS, huge moment here to prove themselves. Is it a big 3 or is it a big 4? Pass in front. Scrambled save by Sibelius! Benito had a nearly wide open cage to shoot at, and Sibelius comes up with the save. Final moments of this game, 17.4 to play. Can Jyväskylä hold on? They win the draw. Kriketsky comes up with it. Back into the neutral zone. 11 seconds to go. Nicky Dangle's poked away. Spectacularly done. Final 5 seconds to play. Drop back. Jyväskylä are going to take game 1. They move to 18-0-1 on the season. Sibelius saving the day at the end. He was tied for first with 5 shutouts on the season, and Sin, he moves into sole possession of first with his, and I can't believe this, 6th shutout of the season. What a chance for Benito at the end.
Yeah, oh man, Benito's got to be just kicking himself. Look how many times they're watching it. They just simply can't believe it. And he had to kind of put it on the backhand. The pass had to sort of go to that location. He wasn't able to just kind of put it towards his forehand, which would have been just a simple tap in. So that's an unfortunate break there for hREDS, but we saw 2 goaltenders just absolutely standing on their heads for their teams when they needed them. I mean, Nikke gave hREDS the best opportunity to stay in the game that he could, to come back in that one, and Sibelius proving why he is the top goaltender with some big clutch saves of his own at the end for some of those tough angle shots, and really swallowing the puck up, getting the covers when his team was getting a bit overwhelmed in the zone. And that's what I think was the difference here. Jyväskylä were really good at, denying those second, third opportunities, and when it was starting to get a bit hectic, Sibelius was able to find those covers in the zone, but still just a 1-0 victory. hREDS has got to kind of hurt not being able to at least get a point out of it, but at the same time, you only lost by 1. If you can get your offensive guns going like you did against HAVU, get one of those early first period goals to really put the pressure on, you have put yourself in a great location. And there's some hardcore analysis coming out from hREDS here, watching this over and over again. I think a bit of denial creeping in from them, or maybe chirping Benito just a little bit.
Perhaps, all things considered. So again, first game of the night of this broadcast, Jyväskylä taking it by the score of 1-0. Again, now up to 18-0-1 on the season as they continue their push to really become the top team in the ECL Elite Division this season. We talked about it for hREDS, again, coming off of a very impressive performance against the second team in the league, being HAVU Gaming, who, again, you will see in action a little bit later on against number 1 ranked Linköping, a rematch of our final from last year, which was one of the craziest series that I know we ever had the ability to call, all things considered. But very intrigued to see how this all plays out. But again, such an impressive performance. It's going to be disappointing for hREDS, all things considered. But as we talked about, for the most part, still, despite not picking up a point, super close game here. And they do have, still have the ability to walk away with 2 points here and really continue to push to make this a top 4 as opposed to the big 3, as we talked about in the pregame.
Definitely, and you just held, Jyväskylä to only 1 goal. Their average on the season is 3.33. So you did a great job defensively, but in the same breath, I mean, Jyväskylä proved why they are the top defensive team. It comes from their team defense and from Sibelius, bailing them out when he needs to, and perhaps a tiny bit of luck from time to time, but you got to be good to be lucky, lucky to be good. And that's what Jyväskylä was able to do in that first one, winning 1-0 here. hREDS definitely have their work cut out for them. But, even if they're, not able to kind of, storm back and really have themselves a great game, I mean, they're still keeping it close. They're still making it competitive. And they're still kind of proving they do belong up here at the top.
Absolutely. As you get a look at the updated team stats following that game, again, as I mentioned, Jyväskylä up to 18 wins on the season. Now hREDS at 12-5-2. Still a very respectable record. But again, the power play goal was the difference maker. Antti scoring the lone goal of the game. So, Sin, as we get ready for game 2, we don't expect it to be that long of a wait. I'm intrigued to see what you think. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about with hREDS, but for Jyväskylä, is it as simple as, hey, we played our game, we got the win, it would just be nice to score more goals? I mean, again, Sibelius rocking the shutout. He was a wall back there, as we expected him to be. I was super impressed with Domi and Omari and their ability to track down rebounds to limit opportunities. Is it just as simple as, hey, just keep doing what we're doing and hopefully more goals come?
Yeah, for the most part. I can't really think of a big adjustment for them to make. We saw the plays that they wanted to run. It was a good job by hREDS to cut a lot of those out, get some key interceptions, and again, Nikke back there making some good saves. Yeah, I think Jyväskylä just has to stay the course. If you're hREDS, again, it's hard to really point something out that they necessarily did wrong there. I don't really think they did anything wrong. They got their chances. They weren't able to put one home. It was just a tight defensive game, and maybe if they can get a quick one, maybe able to utilize their rush speed a bit more. But again, as you mentioned, credit to Domi and Omari back there, not only negating the rebounds, but really able to slow down that fast break ability that hREDS have.
Absolutely. As you get a look at the top 10 goaltenders now in the league, of course, we talked about it. Sibelius, top of the table heading into tonight's matchup, and he still finds himself at the top, 18-0-1. He's played every game for Jyväskylä, and again, Sin, you talk about having, an 80 save percentage, just spectacular. He's approaching a 90.
Yeah, if he gets to 90, I mean, that's just insane.
Absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, you're talking about him putting up Jonathan Quick-like numbers, which, in the NHL at 885, you're like, oh God, what is happening here? You witness, say, the Toronto Maple Leafs melting down because Michael Hutchison was under that number for the majority of the season before they went out and acquired Jack Campbell. But in the NHL, in NHL 20, in the context of the game, the closer you are to a 90, it is absolutely absurd. And again, you got to look at the updated stats, an 89 for Sibelius at this stage. But again, we want to give credit to Nikke between the pipes for hREDS. He was spectacular. Mm-hmm. That game almost had, really for both teams, it's unfortunate that it was just a one-goal game. Sibelius will disagree. He's going to be happy now leading the league with 6 shutouts. But both goaltenders with a fantastic display that had to frustrate the offense on the other side. Yeah. As we're also going to get a look here, I believe, at the top 10 for skaters, where, again, you see that all but 2 players, and it's the 2 at the bottom with Maisa and Veluxit, are going to be in action today. And, of course, you see the 2 players for Jyväskylä with Antti up there as well. Now 20 goals on the season. Kurketski leading the way for the team still with 43 points for Jyväskylä. But, again, Sin, just so many good talking points for both of these teams. As we said, with Jyväskylä, it's like, okay, what, are they going to be able to find the goals that they'd want to find? Again, Nikke with a spectacular performance for hREDS. And for hREDS, you could argue just a little bit better luck, and they would have had multiple goals that game. But it's got to be frustrating at this point as you look to kind of regroup and set your sights on maybe just simplifying your game, doing whatever really you can to find the back of the net.
Yeah, and it was tough. I think there could have been easily another 3 or 4 goals in that game. Just the goaltenders were absolutely incredible. They made some huge saves, some game-stopping saves, and when you get into this top level, you're going to need your goaltender to make some spectacular saves. You're not going to be able to stop every single, chance coming your way as a whole team defensively. But looks like we're ready to get into the second game here. We'll see if we have a bit more goals, or are we going to have a goaltender duel and a defensive battle once again.
Excited to see how this goes down. Again, hREDS in the black, Jyväskylä in the white. Let's see how this one plays out. Again, Jyväskylä taking that first game by the score of 1-0, and on the attack early here, Kruketsky gets it down in the corner right where he wants to be. Indy now looking cycle, keeps it in the corner. Great patience on display, finds Antti. The wrap chance doesn't go. Quickly taken away. Nicky Dangles, though, pressured immediately in his own zone by Domi. Jyväskylä, that pressure that they apply. Benito gets absolutely crushed and sent back to his own side of the ice. And hREDS right now scrambling a little bit, not having the ideal start in terms of just, I don't want to say the chemistry, because the team certainly has chemistry, but just not finding the passes that they'd like to. A great pass there, shot just high and wide. Wrap chance doesn't go. Puck still loose, fought on for. hREDS back in possession. Benito has it in the corner. Takes the hit, though. Jyväskylä back in possession, but not for long. This one, green all the way down. No icing on the play. Janzu tried to draw it. It just wasn't there. So a couple of chances on both sides here in the early stages. Not exactly a surprise, as we'll have another opportunity here, perhaps. Quickly taken away. Not exactly a surprise. We saw that in the first game. Both teams not messing around, not going for the feeling out process with the trap game. Just full bore, go for the goals right out of the gates.
Absolutely, and that's just how good both of their both of their teams are. They're able to really find those holes in defense and find their opportunities.
Chance here for Yoki, not able to cut in. Great defense on display again by Domi. Speaking of defense, a good step up by Teemu, just not able to get the spin that you would have wanted at the blue line. So we talked about it a lot in that first game. hREDS constantly looking to spring Yoki for those, quick rush opportunities. Nearly had space there, but again, time and time again, we have seen the defense for Jyväskylä able to kind of neutralize that as they continue to watch out for those plays. Again, they looked for him there as well. Elmari was able to shut him down, and Jyp quickly back in possession. Antti taking his time, dishes it off for Elmari, able to protect well, still has it, gets it down low for Indy, thrown in front, big save by Nikke. Opportunity still recovered here by hREDS. Can they get it out? The forechecking pressure is immense right now. Great passes, and a great job there by Yoki to dish it back for Janzu. He'll look for space as he settles down. Pass doesn't go through. Nicky Dangles takes the hit. Chance for Jyväskylä again on the counterattack. Down low, Kruketsky looking for space. Tried to get it in front to Indy. It just doesn't go. 8 minutes to play here already in the first period. Sauced on, saved by Sibelius. Yoki not able to tuck that one as he hits the back of the net. Jyväskylä back on the attack. Domi takes the hit. Elmari's able to recover. They maintain possession. Indy not able to find his way through. Nicky Dangles is there again. I think that's been the key for hREDS thus far. It's the forward's ability to track back and help on defense. As we'll see if Janzu looks for Yoki again. He doesn't. He finds Nicky Dangles instead. Back to the point. And again now into the corner around the back of the net. Wrap chance doesn't go. Sibelius able to cover the loose puck in the paint. So again, hREDS still looking for their first goal of the night. Unable to find it there though.
Yeah, and the pace once again in this first period, very fast, high-flying, not too many stoppages, and it gets really exciting right here. hREDS, if they win this face-off, okay, unfortunately not able to do so, but I was really starting to like their pressure and their cycle in the offensive zone.
It's always a shame when you say, like, okay, they're on the verge of scoring, just win the draw. Oh, just doesn't happen. Chance there for Antti, shrugged off. Benito has it, fought off by Kruketsky, the chance on the short side, and another save by Nikke. 3.5 to play here. hREDS looking to get it out of their own zone. 5 players in the offensive zone on the forecheck for Jyväskylä at times. Benito not able to time this one. The offside delayed call there. We'll see what Domi's able to do as he takes his time. Allows his team to reestablish and really get reset up here. As a big hit there from Yoki, not able to come up with it. Benito has it. He dangles again back. Just not able to find the passes. The defense for Jyväskylä recovered so quickly. Very impressive. Final minute of play here in the first period. Janzu drops it back. Now it's Teemu. Can he find the space? As they're offside. He cannot. Too close. The opportunities are there. Just not able to make the most of it. 22 seconds remain here. Now down to 22.7. Readjusted. We'll see what happens here. Again, both teams still with time to strike. There's time on the clock. A goal can be scored. We know that's the approach. Kruketsky sends it in. Indy hits the side of the net. Puck still loose. 1 second to go. And Sin, that will do it. So again, we find ourselves through the first period without the opening goal of the game. Are you surprised, I suppose, is the question right now?
Not so much, actually. I think, both these teams really seem to be playing tight defensively, and their goaltenders, I mean, are really, really feeling it today. I mean, they made some big saves in the last one here, and, despite them able to kind of find their holes, they're still kind of looking for those high-quality opportunities, not really throwing the pucks on net. And, I mean, would you feel comfortable just throwing the puck on net when you have them getting those second and third opportunities here? But I think one of these teams is going to have to step out of their comfort zone here to get that advantage. The question is, which team is going to be willing to start changing it up and really, start throwing pucks on net and looking for, other avenues to produce offense.
We'll see who's able to find that breakthrough. Again, it was Jyväskylä on a power play goal that ultimately ended up being the game winner. A massive celebration for Antti on the milestone. We'll see what happens here as, again, Jyväskylä back in possession. Kruketsky tries to find his way through. Again, Nicky Dangles is there to help out the defense. Benito not able to find his way through the middle, but he recovers the puck now. Onside and still fighting for it. Ultimately, Domi's able to come up with a good intercept there by Teemu. Steps in, pass doesn't go. Still fought on for. Nicky Dangles there again, still fought on for. But Indy's able to come up with a big stretch pass to Kruketsky. He's onside, but not able to maintain possession. Benito was there to help out Janzu on the play. I've noticed Janzu often playing that right-hand side. The defense a bit more free-flowing for hREDS thus far. Because, again, neither defenseman afraid of stepping over to the offside to really help out their defense partner. But a bit of trouble here. Indy fighting for it, recovered by Yoki, and we'll see what hREDS can do on this counterattack as Yoki was flying down the ice, offside by a mile. The second Nicky Dangles had to look to reestablish and take a step as Indy's able to recover this one, finds the pass to Antti, can't get the shot off. Benito was there to defend. Loose puck in front, recovered by Yoki again. Both teams right now struggling to find the space. Benito, the cut, still able to maintain possession, takes a huge hit though, and was unable to find the pass. As again now a bit of space for Kruketsky. Opportunity drops back to his defenseman. Here comes Domi, unable to find the space. So Sin right now, the neutral zone battle, the battle for the blue lines. Really the story of this second period as Yoki drops it back. Janzu to Teemu, big glove save. Sibelius flashing the leather and Sin right as we talk about it. You don't expect to see any offensive opportunities through the neutral zone battle. We have our best chance of the game, arguably, and a big save from Sibelius.
Yeah, and that's the play hREDS love so much. Going in down low, kind of moving that puck down low and then kicking it back up for the one-timer with the defenseman sort of creeping in towards the high slot. That's the look they wanted. Huge glove save by Sibelius.
We'll see how hREDS respond halfway through the second period, halfway through regulation. Again, just one goal between these two teams. Two of the top offenses. There's no shot there from Nicky Dangles. We'll see what Antti's able to do here. Good pressure from the defense to really take away the rush. But still, Jyväskylä in possession. Kruketsky looking for space, gets over the line, dishes it off for Antti. Again, not able to find space. Great job there by hREDS. Maintain possession, but can they find a way through the neutral zone? Teemu has it here. He'll look to dump it in, mistimed. So a free possession now for Jyväskylä. And they're going to quickly look to take advantage of it. Risky play there. Domi doesn't pay for it. Kruketsky over the line with a bit of space to work with in the corner now. Takes the hit from Teemu. Back in front, he scores! Kruketsky able to fend off the attack, and it leads to the goal. And again, Sin, another milestone. This time it's Indy able to bury it for Jyväskylä as they grab the 1-0 lead for the second straight game.
Yeah, what a play. Those quick passes down low. I mean, just as you're starting to kind of...
again on the celebration. I thought it was... Apparently, Antti gets to celebrate every goal like it's the 100th or 1000th goal of his career.
Yeah, sort of reminiscent of the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. Every goal scored, everyone jumps on the ice to celebrate. It's that big. He's taking the lap around. But yeah, just a great play by down low. The quick passing. Just as you're starting to get lulled into a false sense of security, the defenses look tight. Kruketsky holds off the kind of the attack down low with the hitting, able to kick it out to, I think it was Indy, and then quick over to Antti for the one-timer and beats Nikke on that glove side. Great play from Jyväskylä. They have the lead once again. Although, can they maintain it this time? They're probably going to want some insurance.
Space for Kruketsky. Can he make the most of it? He can't. Great defense there by Teemu of hREDS. Again, Antti now up to 21 goals in 20 games played Very solid numbers for the center. Chance there. Doesn't take the shot. Dish back to the point. Blocked in front. So, interesting moment there as we see a pass from directly in front of goal. Perhaps hREDS just looking for that one extra pass a little bit too frequently. As again, the puck recovered by Jyväskylä. Under 3 minutes to play now in the second period. Antti tries to find his way through. Indy's able to do so. And now it's Domi. Takes a huge hit from Nicky Dangles. And unfortunate missed pass there by Benito. hREDS just not able to get anything going right now. Yoki dishes it off for Nicky Dangles. Back for Benito. Bit of space. And again, Domi is there. So strong on defense. Chance here for Yip. Opportunity. Great block in front by Janzu. But again, Jyväskylä is still in possession. One-timer finds its way through. Nicky with a big save. We'll see if hREDS can take advantage of this. Clock winding down. Final 7 seconds. Yoki not able to find Nicky Dangles. Jyväskylä will maintain possession, and Sin, that'll do it for the second period. So yet again, they head to the third with a 1-0 lead. Yet again, Antti the goal scorer right where Yip want to be, as you see just 6 registered shots between the two teams.
Yeah, I'm really seeing both these teams really like to kind of, pick their opportunities, which is kind of interesting. I mean, Jyväskylä is third in shots in the league with 243, and hREDS, interesting. We they have 206, so they're not too far behind. Sorry, got lost on the sheets there for a minute. But yeah, I mean, it's really seeming like they're picking their opportunities very, very, like they're being very choosy, especially on that play by Yoki. I mean, he had the puck right out front there. Put a shot on in tight. You never know what can happen. Sometimes those goaltenders simply don't get, the benefit of the doubt in their positioning. And it was kind of interesting to see him pass it back to the point there. And, well,
it'll be another power play opportunity for Jyväskylä. Perfect disciplinary track record for Jyp thus far. hREDS now their third penalty taken of this series. It's Janzu, the left defenseman of the box. They win the draw. Go for the set play, but defended well by hREDS. So, again, Sin, you kind of talk about it like, okay, what can hREDS look to do? And we talked about it in the pregame. It's quality versus quantity. Yep, the more likely of the two teams to just put the puck on goal, and it's paying off thus far. As Domi looks to cycle back, looks for space, finds Antti. What will he do? A couple of quick passes from Yip, back in front. Shot doesn't find its way through. Benito can't take it away. Opportunity just wide of the post. Off the feed from Kaketsky. One-timer again, blocked in front, and hREDS are able to clear on that attempt. And Sin, that's where they've gotten into trouble on the penalty kill before, would be the turnovers in very ill-timed situations. Big spin move there by Omari. Closing moments of the man advantage. Domi with the space. Doesn't look to shoot. Has it on the half wall. Steps in. Loose puck in front. Big save by Nicky yet again. hREDS, can they turn that momentum from the kill into something positive? Nicky Dangles back to the point. Chance shot. Saved by Sibelius. Looked like it hit the glove and immediately went down to the pads, but he's still able to make the stop. Still perfect thus far.
Good job just kind of throwing that puck on net. There was perhaps a one-time opportunity to Yoki chilling there on that left circle, but he opted to shoot, and I like that. There wasn't a 100% guarantee that pass would go through.
Trouble for Kaketsky. Yoki is there, but Yip again survive. Sin, these teams never seem to like to let you get a word in edgewise. It's intermission or nothing. Chance here for Nicky Dangles. Can he find a way into the middle? He cannot. Great defense again from Domi and Sin. Jyväskylä going back to the power play. It's going to be another trip. It's going to be the right defenseman this time. Teemu going to the box. Huge chance now for Yip to ice this game. A second goal might be enough to do it. No registered shots, though, on that first man advantage as Antti comes up with it. D-to-D passes. Domi for Antti again. One-timer deflects in front. Loose puck still. Chance for Antti. Can't pull the trigger. Nicky Dangles able to take his time, circle around, and get the clear. So, again, dangerous moments there. But, again, you see Jyväskylä kind of, backing away from that strategy of just, as the pass doesn't go through there, big opportunity. A chance in front. He scores! There's the feed they were looking for. This time it's the captain, Indy. So, I was just about to mention it. It seems like they're stepping away from their putting the pucks on goal strategy, but it pays off there. You bide your time, you get the man advantage, you take advantage yet again. It's Jyväskylä now up by 2.
Yeah, and what a play there by Ilmari, gaining the zone the way he did. He's been great at that on their power plays, being able to gain the zone, protect the puck with his L skating and his spinning in on that one. Goes behind the net and kind of charges up that pass so he can maybe, get it through the 1 to 2 guys there looking for the intercept, and he does just that, and it's Indy being the beneficiary of that fantastic play by Ilmari. Started with the zone entry, and it continued as he circled around the net, and that's another goal for Jyväskylä that starts from behind the net. That low cycle. They look for the one-timers out front, and no chance from Nikke on that one. And tough break right there from hREDS, but that's why you have to stay out of the box. Jyväskylä 2 for 4 on the power play now throughout this series.
We'll see if hREDS can find their way back into this game. Big opportunity there on the opening possession. Let's see what they can do. Janzu again back down below the net. Well, the goal line, the opportunity behind the net, still the space just isn't there. Will we see them just start to put shots on? Deflection bid doesn't go. Good chance early on. Again, Benito has it, goes for the wrap, not able to get the animation he was looking for. Nicky dangles the shot just wide of the post. So again, hREDS responding in kind, but they need a goal desperately. Nicky dangles again, feeds, it doesn't go, may have hit the crossbar. Huge chance yet again. Can they find the goal they're looking for? This is the pressure that they needed. Janzu recovers at the blue line. Back over for Teemu. Again, sends it down low into the corner for Nicky Dangles. Quickly back. One-timer saved by Sibelius. Great job there. Still, though, hREDS on the attack. Shot just wide. Huge moment. They're still in possession. Nicky Dangles drives the net, not able to find the space. hREDS still on the attack. Another shot. Rocketed wide. Shot on again is denied. Loose puck still there. Benito fighting for it. And finally, Graketsky able to settle it down. Turnover. Yoki can't pull the trigger on the shot, and the puck is out of play. What a pace, but hREDS still can't find the back of the net.
Ill-advised pass right there. Never when you're facing that sort of pressure in a high forechecking game team that you want to send that pass back to your defense and leave them on an island right there. And Jyväskylä did that. The pressure was insane from hREDS right there. We were talking about it all series. Jyväskylä doing a great job of not allowing them to get those second, third opportunities, but it seemed like every loose puck hREDS was getting to us. We're getting a look at that in tight. I think it looked like the save. Did it hit his glove and just bounce out, or did it hit the crossbar? Hard to tell from that angle. We didn't get that much of a look at it, but hREDS, where was this the rest of the game? Where was this aggression? Where was your, willingness to just fire the puck on net? I feel like it might be too little too late, but this is the best they've looked throughout the course of this series.
Absolutely. Turnover there. Nicky Dangle's not able to hold on, but it'll lead to another face-off. Again, 6:22 remaining here in the third period. Jyväskylä taking game 1 by the score of 1-0. Currently leading 2-0 here. Again, the battle between 3 and 4 in the standings here in the regular season as we barrel towards the playoffs here in ECL Season 10, the Elite Division. Huge hit there. Offside call on the play. But then, as you mentioned, the aggression from hREDS certainly amping it up, picking it up a couple of notches at this point. It's just whether or not it's going to lead to a goal. 5.5 to play. You're running out of time. Graketsky here with the chance for Yip, but not able to find the space. And we'll see what Janzu can do here. Having trouble. India on the forecheck. Janzu resets. Looks for the pass to Benito. Can't find it. Benito still battles for it. Recovers. Back to the point. Chance for Teemu. The shot doesn't find its way through. And a chance here now for Domi. Unable to find Graketsky on the first attempt. He recovers, though. Indy's shot hits the side of the net and recovered again. Teemu fighting for possession. He comes up with it, but it's going to be recovered here by Domi yet again, and he draws the trip. Sin, it's Yoki to the box yet again. We talked about some of the disciplinary issues. 3rd in the league in penalty minutes, and that was not the right time to take one, although you have to be a bit aggressive. Jyväskylä treating this like a power play, though. Graketsky in the corner now, but again, back to the point. I think they're going to be content to wind down the clock here a little bit as they continue to work the cycle. It's Domi holding on to it. hREDS just not able to get possession, and they finally do. 54 seconds to go. Yip again to the man advantage, and we'll see whether or not they are able to ice this game here. Again, a goal would certainly do it. It might be over as it is. A 2-goal advantage. Graketsky not able to come up with it. Teemu unable to simply clear. They need a goal. They do elect to clear, so interesting strategy there, Sin. We'll see whether or not hREDS are able to get on the board here. But quickly, again, as I mentioned, running out of time, under 40 seconds to play. Good bit of pressure there. Still fought on for Kraketsky. Comes up with it. Spin move back in front. Deflects wide. Good chance again for Jyväskylä. Still in possession. Indy takes the hit from Nicky Dangles. Janzu finds Nicky on the pass, but just not able to find Benito. The miscommunications continuing to be on display. And again, unfortunately for Yoki, again, not the right time to take that penalty. Chance here for Ilmari. Back to the point now. It's Antti. Steps in now down in the corner, looking for space in. That'll do it. We talked about what this meant for hREDS, the opportunity to prove that it's a big four. It may be, it may not be, but it's a huge performance for Jyväskylä as they walk away with all 4 points. So a statement made. Again, Jyväskylä up to 19-0-1 on the season, and despite the fact that their offense really weren't able to find the goals I think that they would have consistently wanted, all in all, still a spectacular performance from one of our top teams. No real surprise. Absolutely,
and they're just a walking cliche of how defense leads to offense. Their defense was absolutely unstoppable. Was that another shutout for Sibelius there, right? I mean,
I didn't make note of it immediately, but I feel like I should have. Sibelius shutting out hREDS. Again, hREDS coming off of a clean sweep, a 2-game sweep, pulling off the double against HAVU Gaming, who you'll be seeing in action next, the second place team as it stands. But a spectacular job coming off of that double, only to then step up against Jyväskylä and get shut out twice by Sibelius. Again, Sibelius, that first game, claimed sole possession of the league lead in shutouts with 6. He's now up to 7. And again, approaching that 90 save percentage, as mind-boggling as that is. So we still have a lot to talk about when it comes to the breakdown from this game, and of course the setup for the next 2 games that we will be covering for you. Again, number 2 HAVU Gaming against number 1 Linköping. Again, the big 4 on display here this evening. We will be back after a short break, but a friendly reminder before we go. First and foremost, if you're watching on Twitch, drop us a follow. What are you doing? Drop us a follow. Even if you're dropping a follow to say how boring the gameplay is and then that you're going to go to sleep, do what you got to do. Just drop a follow, man. We'd appreciate it. Also, of course, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need. And, of course, hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at NHLGamer. And again, a shout-out to our sponsors, IS Esports and Prisma Gaming. We will be back again after a short intermission. The play of the week, and again, the rematch from last year's final. You're not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned. And Sin, we are back. I am beyond ready for this. Of course, we still have a bit that we could talk about between the first series that we just covered between hREDS and Jyväskylä. Of course, there are a lot of talking points. End of the day, Jyväskylä walk away with 4 points. Sibelius, 2 shutouts. Absolutely unbelievable. Don't worry about my finger that I think I just broke on my desk, because don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. That pain will subside, unlike my excitement for this next series, because we talk about, hREDS trying to prove it's a big 4. You look at Jyväskylä this season trying to prove, and doing so, that it's a big 3. The reason why those 2 teams are jockeying for position is because heading into the season, there was an undeniable big 2. HAVU Gaming and Linköping, the 2 finalists from last year that put on one hell of a series. 2 teams that we have seen highlight reel plays from, and 2 teams that we could see highlight reel plays from again, before we get into the breakdown, we want to show you our play of the week from the past week. Judge it for yourself. Judge it for yourself as to whether or not you think it was worthy of the play of the week. But let's get a look before we get into the rest of the pregame here for these next two games. Sin, we called it a play of the week, but when it's Playmaker, it's more of a performance of the week.
Yeah. Or a plea of the week.
The plea of the week, as it is officially being coined from now on, because what Playmaker is capable of, again, we'll get into it with the individual stats breakdown, but there's a reason why he consistently finds himself, why Linköping players consistently find themselves in the play of the week, or the performance of the week, the play of the week, call it what you want. They are defending champions heading into today. They are in sole possession of first place. And Sin, we talked about it before we threw to that highlight reel package. You want to talk about teams that have the ability to put on those highlight reel performances, not just against teams at the bottom of the table. No disrespect to the Almost Famous boys who were on the receiving end of that beatdown from Playmaker and Linköping. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a battle between second-rated HAVU Gaming and first-ranked Linköping at this point in time. Again, a rematch from the ECL Elite Division 9 finals, which again, as I mentioned, Linköping won. I am sure HAVU are beyond tired of hearing me mention that. But as you have gotten a look at the lineups here, there's going to be a lot to talk about as we get in to the individual breakdowns. But simply put, I am beyond excited for what we saw in the final and what we could potentially see here. The fact that we get to call this here at this stage of the regular season, all things considered, towards the back half of this regular season, as we talked about, what are the odds that scheduling we get 3 versus 4, 2 versus 1 at this stage? I am just beyond excited for this. And I'd ask what stands out, but I think every player stands out, as we'll talk about once we get into the breakdowns.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams just have so many weapons, and each skater on each side is among the top 10 or the top 5 in multiple categories statistically. I mean, whether it's points, assists, goals, shots, hits, game-winning goals, it's just, these are the elite of the elite, and you can see why they're up here at the top, because their players are absolutely ridiculous. And as you saw from that performance of the week from Playmaker, just some of the individual efforts that they can get, from game in, game out is, just remarkable.
Absolutely. Now, for the individual player stats, we are waiting to be able to display this, of course, although we could talk about it from this moment here. But again, you want to talk about just the talent that is on display here. And I think the team stats go a long way towards showing that. All things considered, again, when you want to talk about these two teams. HAVU, 83 goals for, second in the league. Linköping, 94 goals, first in the league, of course. HAVU, third in goals against, in terms of total goals against, with 31. Linköping, top defense right now, at least in terms of goals against. They've only allowed 30 goals this season. The power play, though, it's something that we are going to talk about because that could be a potential advantage that HAVU could look to exploit. But at the end of the day, on the flip side, Linköping, the best disciplined team this season, they're so evenly matched, and it's not surprising at all to see them both at this stage. 1 and 2 in terms of shots taken. It's just such an incredibly balanced matchup that, of course, I'm very excited to see how this all plays out. And again, we've talked about it as well. For HAVU right now, you're coming off of a series of losses. You dropped both games to hREDS, who we just saw drop both games to Jyväskylä. So again, the shuffling for position within that top three is incredibly interesting. Tonight's a big night for HAVU to try and walk away with 2, if not 4 points to really be able to get the seeding back under control where they want it to be. I think a third place finish for them behind Jyväskylä isn't exactly what they're going to want. They're going to want to finish in a top 2 spot.
Yeah, HAVU, they've got a bone to pick. They're probably not happy with the results of last time, and kind of touching on that, the team that just 2-0'd HAVU just got shut out twice by Jyväskylä, so that already is going to start a storyline kind of amongst the ECL. Is HAVU falling off, or is Jyväskylä just that good, or did hREDS just kind of get lucky right there? There's already a bit of controversy here, but there can't really be any controversy when it comes to Linköping. I mean, the top offensive team with their average goals for 4.7, goals against average is good enough for third. 1.5 goals against total, or sorry, average, not total. And man, I mean, their special teams might not be exceptionally strong, but as you mentioned, they don't take a ton of penalties. And we're going to look at the center matchup right here. Point total is ridiculous for both of them.
I will point out, before asking your opinion a little bit more, Potzloff is a unit. I don't know if he's that big of a unit. I want to give credit to Dominoity as well for the interesting image matchup there. Just had to point it out. But again, you mentioned it. In terms of the center matchup, in terms of what we expect to see here, I mean, again, you look at the beyond impressive totals at this stage. And as we talk about in this league, success really does begin and potentially end with the centers in terms of who can play that defensive two-way style that you need to see, who can control the face-offs, and more importantly, perhaps, who can put up points and against him. When you talk about these two centers, both top 5 in terms of point totals this season thus far.
Yeah, and Potzloff first in assists now. He's a great playmaker in his own right, but it must be really nice to be able to, feed pucks over there to Playmaker, who just seems like he won't stop scoring goals. But also, Potzloff, 58.6% on the faceoffs. Not too big of a hitter, but to be fair, Linköping, they don't lay the body that much. They're second to last in total hits, actually. They're going up against a more physical HAVU team, so it'll be interesting to see if they have to adjust their game a bit and maybe, have to hit HAVU more, or if they could just play that puck possession style and really get their offense going. But yeah, Dominoity, no slouch himself in the dot, 53.5%, tied for second in goals, 27 assists, good enough for 5th, and 53 points, good enough for 4th. I mean, it's just, you could just go on and on and on about where these guys are leading, but the thing that stands out for me the most, Dominoity, 11 game winners, tied for 1st. That is almost half of his total goals in game winners. You need your big guns to step up when it matters, and Dominoity definitely does that.
Absolutely. And again, you want to talk about both centers too, both top 10 in terms of shots taken as well. Both of these teams take a ton of shots. Again, Linköping first in terms of total shots with 375, HAVU at 323. So in terms of some teams, with how consistently they throw the puck on goal, you want to talk about hREDS, 206 in terms of shots. Jyväskylä 243 entering play today. So these two teams love to throw the puck on goal. The face-off matchup as well, again, 50, nearly 57, or nearly 59%, 58% for Václav Dominointi at 53.5. So the matchup is so well balanced in terms of these centers who can put up points, who can win draws. It's such a close matchup. And speaking of close matchups, you have the winger battle here. And again, very impressed with Flyer Kungen, the captain of HAVU Gaming. Powanzo, we have to talk about quite a bit because he is back in the lineup. He did not play against hREDS the other night. But you see here, I mean, the numbers for Linköping, and in particular Playmaker, off the charts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're so often talking about just how amazing Eki is, and he is. Don't let those numbers fool you, but your eyes have to be pulled towards Playmaker with those 46 goals. I mean, and the 71 points in 20 games. I mean, it's just actually ridiculous. And, Flyer Kungen on the other side, amazing player, 58 points, only one behind Eki. Yes, he has, 2 more games played. Powanzo as well. These are no pushovers, but you could just see just how much one huge season can really pull your eyes away. So for the viewers out there, do not think that any one of these wingers is necessarily that much better than any of them. They are all absurd, and their production speaks for itself.
Again, though, we saw in the plea of the week, Playmaker, again, though, 46 goals heading into tonight, 20 more goals than the man in second. Dominointi with 26 goals was tied for second. So just absolutely outstanding numbers. But then we get to the defensive matchup as well. And again, you talk about these teams and what they're capable of. I mean, in terms of the rankings for defensive point totals and goal scoring, these are the 4. These are absolutely the 4 that lead the way. And we sometimes see it with top teams, whether or not on the European side or the North American side, sometimes the defense doesn't get as involved. That is the phenomenal thing about both of these squads, is the defense can absolutely step up and be the difference maker on the scoreboard, but also still be defensively responsible enough to just shut down the other team on the back end. It is beyond impressive, the speed in which these 4 play with.
Yeah, and I mean, Ville Kung has the 8 goals. That's good enough for first, but his opposite, Loim over there, 6 goals, good enough for second. You look at, Nasu, he's got 5 goals. That's good enough for third. I mean, oftentimes you see those defensemen racking up the assist and not having too many goals, but J-Tor, Loimu, Ville Kun, Nasu, Stelia, all these guys can put the puck in the net, and it shows throughout the course of this year. I mean, there's so many leaders on all these teams. It's sometimes just hard to tell where to start, and it's not that they're just great point scorers. As you mentioned, they are terrific at shutting things down. Nasu and Ville, probably one of the better defensive pairings. I mean, they got a little bit exposed last week against hREDS with some of the speed down that left wing side, so maybe look to a Linköping to try to exploit that. But on the same breath, J-Toy, Lomu, more of the same, just incredible defensively, and they put up a ridiculous amount of points.
It's a huge night for HAVU in terms of how they are going to respond to the double that was pulled over them by hREDS. You're still in the mix for the top 3. Point percentage is huge at this point. You have to make the most of this opportunity. That brings us, of course, to the goaltending matchup as well. The face of Season 9, Hanselinho against the face. The well-bearded faces, but the face of Season 10 in Kape. And again, we saw Sibelius on display for Jyväskylä, the undisputed top goaltender this season right now. But both of these two, of course, towards the top, as you would expect. Again, 2 of the bigger names in this league, especially when it comes to goaltending. And you see how even the matchup is at this stage, Sin. I can't wait to see. I mean, who's gonna break first out of these 2? Not an easy choice to have to make, an easy prediction to have to make.
No, and you mentioned it. These stats are pretty much even across the board. I mean, Hanselinho maybe with the edge there with the shutouts, but every single other stat, save percentage, dead even, goals against average, dead even. I mean, it's just crazy just how evenly matched they are. And, save percentage may seem a bit low when we just got to see Sibelius, who's way up there. But both of these teams are so good in their puck possession style that oftentimes the shots that Kape and Hanselinho are facing are the ones that are super high quality. And so you're going to have maybe a lower save percentage when you're just not simply facing that many shots, when your team in front of you is just so good at keeping the puck away from you. So don't take their save percentage, and like kind of judge them on it. These two guys are absolutely fantastic. They can make the big saves when necessary, and you can trust them to always make those first and oftentimes the second saves in the defensive end.
Absolutely. So with that brings us to our keys to success for both sides. Let's talk first about HAVU and what they need to look to do today. And again, special teams, as I mentioned, certainly comes to mind. The fourth best power play in the league, the top penalty kill in the league entering play tonight. You have to make the most of that. Use that to your advantage if you have the ability to. And that is, of course, because Linköping are the most well-disciplined team in the league. But if Linköping make that, that kind of mistake, take advantage of it. Second point, under pressure, HAVU Gaming have arguably the most overbearing forecheck to have to deal with. We saw Jyväsyklä and their spectacular forecheck on display against hREDS in our first series of this broadcast, but HAVU Gaming take it to a completely different level. They do get into some penalty trouble at times, but it is that pressure, that physicality. They're fourth in hits with 347 registered entering tonight. It is that pressure that they might just be able to use to their advantage. Time will tell, because it is kind of a clash of styles here, and we saw the ever-evolving gameplay between these two in a best-of-7 final last season. 2 games, a little bit less time to work with, but all in all, very intrigued to see what they do. Flyer Kungen in particular is an absolute madman on the forecheck. And Pawanso returns to the lineup. So as we discussed, he did not play last Thursday when HAVU took on hREDS and lost both of those games. And that, no disrespect, of course, to who filled in for him, but that's a major presence to lose in your lineup. Pawanso, again, as we saw, 42 points in 20 games, 7th in the league in terms of scoring, top 4 in terms of checking as well. He and Flyer Kungen work so well together on that forecheck, and whether or not they're really able to get that going or not, I'm intrigued to see how they look with one of their key players back in the lineup. For the most part, for HAVU, every single member of the team has played, the full 22 games up to this point. Now, Sestelia has missed 2 games, and Pawanso has missed 2 games, but it's intriguing, of course, you missed the winger, and you drop 2 games as a result. That brings us over to the keys for success. The keys to success for Linköping. Sin, what stands out for you?
Well, first of all, they're disciplined. They have the least amount of penalties taken. They're going to need to keep that standard up, because HAVU Gaming's power play over 30%, good enough for 4th in the league. They can't really afford to take penalties against them and give them chances, to open up the scoring on their end with how aggressive they can be. Second one here is the trap game. They are second to last in hits, are Linköping. Can they keep that trap game going with the counterattack and use their defensive skill sticks, when HAVU is as aggressive as they are? And you touched on it. Flyer Kungen, absolute madman on the forecheck. His ability to not only hit, but use his defensive skill stick to break up the passes and really create havoc in the defensive end could really create some problems back there for J Toro and Loimu if they don't move that puck out quickly. And the last point here, we saw him in the plays of the week. We saw that absurd goal total. Plivechkin, the league's top goal scorer, on display tonight. He has 46 goals, which, seems crazy. But for reference, he has 20 more goals than the person in second place in goals. That is absolutely ridiculous. We're going to see if he's able to go to work tonight, because he is obviously a huge part of the Linköping offense. And if he kind of gets going, we've seen him score a between the legs goal. When he has that confidence that's been on display all season, watch out, because he seems unstoppable.
Absolutely, Sin. We are just about ready to go for the puck drop for the start of this first game of 2. Again, very much looking forward to this. Again, a friendly reminder, the stream brought to you in part by ISC Sports Prisma Gaming as well. We thank our lovely sponsors for helping us out. Of course, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need on both the ECL side of things and the North American side of things. Of course, the playoffs underway for the NACL. Things are about to get very interesting down the stretch. I have a hunch. Of course, make sure to hit us up on Twitter and Instagram as well if you haven't already. So, Sin, as we have set the stage here for this 2-game series, I do have a hunch that the opening 10 minutes could be very neutral zone trap game heavy. Do you expect to see that? How do you expect the opening minutes of this to go? I'm not going to put you on the spot for a prediction. What do you expect to see here, though?
I think that definitely is the biggest chance to happen. When they played in the finals, you know, we really kind of saw that throughout the first 10 minutes. Then things would start to open up, you know, but maybe HAVU is going to want to come out stronger. They're not happy with their performance from last week. Maybe they're going to try to throw Linköping for a loop. So Linköping got to be on their toes early. They can't just be thinking it's going to be a trap game for the first 10 minutes, because if HAVU catches them off guard, they could be in a hole very early on.
HAVU in the white, Linköping in the blue. Let's see how this goes. Again, a rematch of last year's final. The top 2 teams in the league entering play as Dominointi able to steal this one away in the opening moments. We'll see what he can do here. Looking for the pass, and the option just wasn't there. As Playmaker back on defense, looking to help out here. We'll see what Linköping can do. Can they deal with the pressure that HAVU is going to throw at them? Although HAVU looking at least a little bit more likely to drop back here in the early stages. As Dominointi again battles for this one, has it on the half wall, is able to find the pass over. But again, still the possession not lasting for long. That one offside in the opening moments here of the first period. So again, Sin, a gigantic matchup here. We saw it in our first series of the night between hREDS and Jyväsyklä. The first goal, of course, oh, so important. Again, Pawanso back in the lineup here. Certainly has the ability to find the back in the Dominointi. Dishes it back to the point. Stelia dishes it back into the corner. And again, nothing happening through the opening attempts here. Great chance there for Playmaker, of course. Look out for that pink icon. He's going to look to be all over the place through this series. Dominointi has it over the blue line. Again, now back to the point. Villikun looking for that bit of space. Finds Flyer Kungen in the corner. Back to the point, went for the D-to-D pass. A little bit of a miscommunication here. 6 minutes gone through this first period. Again, both teams looking to establish that offensive foothold. Flyer Kungen recovers, dishes it off for Pawanso. So many dishes, but again, the puck back into the HAVU zone. So, Sin, not surprising, of course. We expect to see that strong defensive trap game from Linköping and look for them to counterattack, and it's on display thus far. But a chance here for HAVU. Shot on, blocked away, and recovered by Linköping. Here's Playmaker. Bit of space. Finds Eki now. Not able to work his way through. Finds it there. Somehow onside. J Toro's with him. Can't get it in front. Dominointi was there to take it away. And here come HAVU on the counterattack. Dominointi can't pull the trigger. Chance the shot. Scramble in front. And recovered. Don't think the shot saw Kape there. Again, now HAVU quickly back in possession. Doing a great job. Nasu stepping up. Throws it in front. The shot doesn't go. Big chance for Dominointi early on. So HAVU, the more aggressive as we expected. Right now, getting the better of the offensive opportunities. Linköping kind of struggling to get out of the gates.
Yeah, HAVU's been very good early on creating their offense, and Linköping just not able to do so. Maybe they can on this entry, but quickly.
Boimu unable to find the space there, Sin. Sorry to cut you off as always, but see what happens here in the neutral zone as they drop it back. Sin, what do you think they have to do to find the space, or is it just a waiting game and waiting for that counterattacking opportunity?
You know, the waiting game seems to kind of work sometimes, but they can't always continue to wait. They can't be the team reacting. At some point, they're going to have to force the issue here and catch HAVU off guard. So maybe, you know, a couple things that HAVU may not be expecting.
Bit of space for Villikun, not able to get the puck in front, and recovered by Toro. Sends it back over to Playmaker around the boards. Now a chance here for Potzloff. He'll send it back. Couple of quick give and goes. Drop pass at the line. Eki over to the half wall. Recovered by Toro. Down low for Playmaker. Doesn't go. Good interception by Villikun. But Linköping on the attack right now on the press. Playmaker's there. He's going to come up with it. The opportunity to shot and a big save by Hansalino. The point blank slap shot from Playmaker. That is a player playing with confidence. Dominointi throws it on the deflection bid for Flyer. Kungen just doesn't go. Teams all of a sudden opening up and trading opportunities. Big stretch pass. Playmaker has space. Can't test the near post. Sin, it happens that quickly for Playmaker. You know what's coming. You know they're going to feed him the puck, but he has that ability to sneak in behind the defense. Off a pass, off a blast. Call it what you will. So dangerous as always.
Yeah, and this is what really starts to favor Linköping when they get this kind of back and forth action. Their speed game, their transition game. I think they have the advantage. But when it comes to forechecking, you got to give that advantage to HAVU with the way they hit, with the way Flyerkungen is able to use that skill stick here. So the faster the pace goes, I think for Linköping, the more it benefits them. But if HAVU starts to really get their grindy forecheck game going, I think the more the game will kind of swing in their favor here, but still scoreless in the first. Can HAVU get one last rush and one last chance here?
Final 10 seconds, bit of space, loose puck recovered by Linköping, and a big stretch pass doesn't go at the end. So, perhaps unsurprising that we're scoreless through the opening 20 minutes of play. Chances for both teams just not able to find those completed passes, but a very strong start for HAVU there. As again, we talked about Linköping playing the trap game, and that's exactly what they had done thus far. Was that a 10 ping that I saw? Anybody else
I'm
jealous of that?
I'm pretty jealous of that. Things must be going pretty well over there for them. But yeah, HAVU, 2 minutes time on attack. Not a whole ton of shots. There were some good blocks from the Linköping defense. They do very good at guarding that net and, helping Kape out. But yeah, HAVU, once they really were getting that forecheck going in the first part of that period, like towards the middle. But then towards the end, when Linköping started to open things up, get those long stretch passes, we started to see them with, the advantage on the chances. Not a whole lot of shots, but once they start getting that transition game going, it's dangerous.
This one is kicked all the way back to the Linköping zone. They'll look to reset in the first game of two between the top two teams entering play tonight. We'll see who's able to walk away with the points. Again, a huge night for Jyväskylä in our first matchup. They got to be watching this closely. Again, their competition for the top of the regular season standings and perhaps in the playoffs as well. Opportunity thrown in front. Great interception by Naustestelia there, taking that one away at the last moment. Let's see what HAVU can do in response. Flyerkungen holds on to that one before turning it over to Playmaker. He drops it back to his defense, and Linköping will look to reset, taking their time as well. The quick passes, Patslov helping out the defense. Pass there, doesn't go. Pwansa was there. Here's Dominoiti. A little bit of speed. Takes the hit, though, from Jay Toro. Now he finds Patslov. Again, looking for that quick counter. They send it down low. Playmaker giving chase. Eki was there, too. Just not able to come up with it. Good stretch pass there from Pwansa. Finds Flyerkungen. Can't get the step on Loimu. And again, HAVU, that forechecking. Pressure's there. Deflection bit in front. Loose puck still just kicked out. Jay Toro able to find that loose puck. So Kape tested on that attempt, and you see HAVU, they are on the attack, but they're able to survive. Playmaker nearly sprung on the opportunity. Still, though, opportunity still alive, but it goes away. So send that quickly. Linköping seem like they're just being, it's just a bombardment. They're pinned down in their own zone. Playmaker nearly finds space off of one pass.
Yeah, just a tiny missed pass. Here we see HAVU on the counterattack.
Dominoiti can't find Flyerkungen on the pass. And, sometimes I feel bad for trying to set you up because you never know. We just talked about how quickly they can generate these chances. It just didn't happen there, though. 10-15 remaining in the second period.
Yeah, and it's really kind of starting to open up here. HAVU still getting that forecheck pressure going, but we're seeing why Linköping may not have the amount of hits they do. It's not for their lack of defense. They are really good as a unit with those stick lifts and those skill sticks, as we see a big hit here.
Pwansa has it stepping in. Can't get the shot off. Loose puck still doesn't find its way on net. Kape avoids that dangerous situation. Playmaker gets it over the line, but again, HAVU is there to try and shut him down. Dominoiti not able to find the pass, and again, the quick puck work from Linköping to try and find the space. They get it to Playmaker. Circles back, can't get the sauce down to Eki. Under 8 minutes to play now. Big stretch pass to Pwansa, but mistimed with the captain Flyerkungen. 7:37 remaining here in the second period. Still looking for our opening goal in this first game between our top two teams at this point in time. If Jyväskylä have something to say about that, but again, a rematch from last year's final, an epic 7-game series. Linköping came back from 3-1 down to claim the crown. A dark cloud looming over the heads of HAVU Gaming for the entirety of this season. Started out of the gates hot, a little bit of adversity as of late, but we're still on the attack here. Dominoiti takes the hit. Flyerkungen still giving chase. Pwansa on the offhand. They're going to get that interception, but they don't test him. Again, Linköping always looking to find space for Playmaker. Unable to do so there. 5 minutes to play now. Flyerkungen drops it off. Chance for Naustestelia stepping up. Brings it in the corner. Dishes all the way back to the point. Shot from Polanco doesn't go. A deflection hit as well. Nothing on it. Playmaker looks to lead the counterattack. Eki for Potzloff. Now again, the quick passing. The one-timer. Great block from Flyer Kungen, but Linköping hold it into the zone. Shot doesn't go again, but Linköping opening up a little bit, getting these shots. Jay Toro stepping in. Good block from Polanco. 2.5 minutes to go. And a big step up, a burst of speed from Polanco. Chance on the slap shot, a big blocker save from Kape. HAVU Gaming responding. The chance, save again by Kape. Loose puck, kicked out. Back to the point, doesn't go through. Second chance blocked, another save, and covered. Kape survives a flurry of offense. What a counterattack from HAVU, but no dice in terms of finding the back of the goal.
Very reminiscent at times from the finals of last year. Capo just stopping a flurry of shots against him. He got a bit aggressive right there. I like to see that. He really stepped out of his crease for that shot from the left side.
To the near post for Flyer Kungen, but Kape was there to make the cover yet again. And Roberto Luongo-esque, assistant captain in goal for Linköping, coming up with the saves. Under 30 seconds to play here. What can HAVU do? Can they win this draw? They cannot. Big defensive zone draw win there for Potzloff. Again, both centermen strong on the dot. Doesn't happen there, though. In the offensive zone, final 3 seconds to play. Playmaker unable. Call it what you will to get the sauce passed through. So in we go to the third period. Scoreless, just one registered shot for Linköping, but the opportunities are there on the counterattack. The shot totals don't tell the full story.
Definitely not. I mean, they had great offensive pressure there. I mean, I can't believe actually that they still only have one registered shot with how many chances they were getting, but kudos to HAVU. I mean, they were blocking those shots, protecting Hanselinho back there. We remained scoreless, and HAVU still getting their time on attack. But yeah, you mentioned it. Linköping's counterattack and their transition game, their rush plays looking stronger and stronger as this game goes. But I think they're going to want to do a bit more with some of their offensive zone pressure. It seems like they try, kind of one pass to a more of a high percentage area and it gets snuffed out. So they're going to have to do a better job maybe holding the zone and working it around to try to spread HAVU out.
Who will find the breakthrough? Eki pressuring there, unable to get the puck back. Still good fighting for it, though. Potzloff's there. Shot just wide. Playmaker dishes it back to the point. Jay Toro's there. Over for Loimu. Now again working the puck around. Loimu's shot deflection doesn't find its way through. And a chance again for HAVU on the counterattack. Polanco went for everything and got nothing. Opportunity for Linköping on the power play. Tough break there for HAVU.
Absolutely, and a really huge mistake there from Polanco. We'll see if they're able to win the face-off here and get the puck out. They do, so they could dodge a bullet.
Good job there by Dominoiti. Now the puck cleared down, settled by Flyer Kungen. Ultimately, HAVU maintaining possession. They work it back. Couple of quick passes here. Again, great job here. Short-handed Flyer Kungen just can't step in. And here come Linköping with a bit of space to work with. Opportunity thrown in front. Doesn't find the back of the net. Huge moment there. Loimu, of course, stepping up as well. 35 seconds to go on the man advantage. What can Linköping do? It's been a great PK from HAVU thus far. Loimu steps in. Back to the point. Eki's there. Jay Toro back to Eki. Shot doesn't find its way through. Second chance. Potzloff's denied. Another opportunity, and Hanselinho is able to cover. Huge moment there for Linköping. HAVU, though, survived the penalty, and we're back to 5-on-5.
Yeah, and Linköping with a really good opportunity there, down low on the cycle, kicking that out front, trying to beat Hanselinho, but not able to do so. Another good face-off win right there for Dominoiti. His team gets it out and on the attack.
Defensive zone draw wins have been huge for both teams. Linköping back in possession. Eki draws the trip, so it'll be another opportunity here for Linköping on the man advantage. Flyer Kungen to the box. So a huge moment here as the wingers trade places for HAVU. Can Linköping make the most of this second opportunity and another face-off win in the defensive zone for Dominoiti? As we'll see again if HAVU are able to make this kill yet again. A little bit of space for Loimu. Now again, playmaker Loimu still has it, bumped off the puck by Nasu. He is able to clear. So again, a good start to the kill for HAVU.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate. Potslav actually jumped on that faceoff, giving HAVU a free win. I was just going to mention how much he needed to win that faceoff.
Chance for Loimu down in the corner. Now again, it's Eki looking for space. Finds Loimu. Now J Toro. Space. Throws it in front. Chance for Eki. He's denied. Another chance just wide of the post. Playmaker back in the corner. Couple of quick passes back to the point. Eki in the corner yet again. Chance. Opportunity just wide of the net yet again. Linköping, though, smelling blood in the water. Opportunity and cleared down by Dominoiti. Just get the face off and a chance to breathe and regroup.
Wow.
Interesting play from HAVU, but I can't say I blame him.
No, I mean, that pressure was crazy, and they almost gave up a goal twice. Good saves by Hanselina. The other one just skittering wide. This time, Dominoiti jumps.
Big offensive zone draw when Eki can't get the one-timer off. Pawanso was there. We'll see what HAVU are able to do in response. 11 minutes to go here in regulation. Still looking for our first goal of the game. Again, this rematch of last year's final. Two top teams heading into tonight. Going head-to-head. Chance for Playmaker. Can't bury it. Good opportunity, though. Linköping waking up a bit. Potslav can't throw it on net. Dominoiti taking his time, looking for space. Risky play there. Finds Flyer Kungen. Villikun stepping up, not able to find space. Linköping, though, still have a man offside. He's finally back on, but HAVU regained possession in the meantime. Pawanso not able to find space. Linköping still able to shut down the blue line relatively consistently. Big stretch pass doesn't go, but it's on goal, so no icing. Sansolino hands it off to Villikun. Now again, a quick D-to-D pass. Nasu looking for a bit of space, trying to step up, shut down well in the neutral zone by Linköping. Potslav hit by two members of HAVU. Big step up hit there. HAVU with the numbers. Pawanso can't get the shot on. Dominoiti recovers in the corner, throws it down low. Flyer Kungen couldn't tuck it. We know HAVU like that low cycle and to really test the goaltenders on the near post. Unable to do so there. Under 5 minutes to play here in the third period. Recovered by HAVU. Pawanso shot, deflection bid doesn't go, and Flyer Kungen this time draws the trip. HAVU go to the power play sim. We talked about it, Linköping, the most disciplined team, but they were able to draw them into a call. It's J Toro to the box, and a chance for one of the top power plays in the league to get the winning goal here, perhaps. Still a lot of time left, 4 minutes to play, but they win the draw. Kungen now back. Couple of quick passes here from HAVU. Looking for one specific shot, perhaps. There it is, just wide of the post. Nasistelia couldn't find the inside of the post on that attempt, but a great chance. Love to get the defenseman involved. Dominoiti back to the point again. You see the defense still pinching in. Dominoiti dishes it back, but an incomplete pass and a break there for Linköping. 45 to go on the man advantage for HAVU. We'll see what they're able to do. Still plenty of time to get reestablished. Flyer Kungen into the corner. Back to the point. Shot doesn't go through. Excellent block and clear. And Sin Linköping this time surviving the man, being the man down. HAVU not able to take advantage of the man advantage. The point that I was looking to make here. 1.5 minutes to go. See what happens here down the stretch. Both teams, I think, would be more than happy to at least get a point from overtime. Big hit there. Playmaker has trouble. Kept in. Dominoiti dishes it back to the point. Throw in front. Dominoiti was there, but a big interception. Playmaker looking for space. Can't find it. Eki able to recover, though. Again now. Linköping struggling to get over the blue line. HAVU steal it back in quick order. Under 40 seconds to play. Nasu looking for space. Can't find it. Eki has it and mistimes it with his teammate at the blue line. So 33 seconds to play. Sin, what do you think? You have to see overtime tonight. Could this be the first?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking to go that way, but anything can happen. These two teams have clutch players, and they love to keep going here.
Stretch pass for Flyer Kungen doesn't go. Huge moment there. 25 seconds to play. Playmaker able to maintain possession. Again, Linköping working it around, trying to find the space. J Toro ultimately does. They have it in the zone. Down low for Eki. Tried to go back in front to Potslav. Couldn't find the pass. 10 seconds to play. Linköping, final possession here perhaps, especially after that pass. Playmaker has it. 3 seconds. Shot, rebound. Handled well by Hanselino. Sin, not what Jyväskylä would have hoped for, as both teams pick up a point. That makes their claim for the top spot in the league that much further away, that much more difficult to accomplish. But for both of these teams, we'll go to overtime. I think they'll both gladly take the points. But of course, still one more point up for grabs.
Yeah, and I think with the results from earlier, Jyväskylä was, I think, in a three-way tie with Linköping and HAVU, but with both of them going to OT now, they put themselves 1 point above. But this extra point is just so important here. Jyväskylä was actually ahead.
That they were. They had the games on HAVU, but they didn't have the games on Linköping. So we'll see here. The battle at the top, extremely close. Worst case scenario, chance here. Palazzo can't find the back of the net. Then worst case scenario for Jyväskylä, deflection bit in front. Puck still loose and it's in! HAVU steal the game. Perhaps not stealing the game, but a quick bang play in overtime. HAVU Gaming walk away with both points. That is a gigantic victory and one hell of a way to get your season back on track after struggling against hREDS. It's Dominointi who's able to find the puck in that mad scramble, and it somehow just sneaks in past Kape. HAVU Gaming, a huge win for their 20th of the season. A tough break overall for Linköping, but it's tough to disagree that HAVU didn't deserve the result.
They played well. Their forecheck, their aggression really worked, and they came out of the gate strong right there in that overtime. And, it's hard to say that Linköping, was the better team in that one. I definitely think HAVU in a lot of cases were the better team, and they came out of that overtime strong, aggressive as they needed to be with their forecheck, with the cycle quick shots on, and they sneak one by Kape there. So tough break for Linköping, but perhaps just that counterattack, the rush style is just not going to work against HAVU. I really liked Linköping on the power play, and when they started to get those cycle games going, they were looking good. I think maybe sometimes too hesitant on the shots. It gave HAVU Gaming chances to get into those shooting lanes and block them there. But yeah, I think HAVU, the distinct advantage throughout that kind of first game for a lot of different parts of it. And, Linköping gets a point out of that one, but you did let that extra one slip away here. I'd like to see them be a tiny bit more aggressive here in the second game.
You talk about how long of an overtime it could be, how long it might take to find a winner. HAVU wasted no time. Get the puck in front. Good things can happen. Kape will want that back, but there's not much you can do in that situation on those mad scrambles. Again, Dominointi scoring the lone goal of the game. Fair play to Hanselinho. Again, we talked about Sibelius for Jyväskylä entering tonight, tied in shutouts with 5. The man he was tied with was Hanselinho. So Hanselinho now up to 6 shutouts on the year, still one back of Sibelius after that phenomenal performance in the first series that we covered for you this evening. But again, a great performance all around for HAVU to shut down the league's top offense. I mean, I don't think we're really making a big enough deal of that. No. It's tough in the moment when you have as many talking points as we do. Hanselinho with the shutout. HAVU shut down the league's top offense. They walk away with the overtime winner. Just a ton of talking points coming out of that first game as we, again, look to set up the second game for you here. We still got one more game in this broadcast. Again, these two teams going head-to-head and sin in terms of making things interesting down the stretch. Just with what we've seen tonight, Jyväskylä picking up both points, Linköping on a point, HAVU with 2 thus far. And again, we still have one more result to go. The race towards the end of the playoffs, or, towards the end of the regular season, heading into the playoffs, just absolutely ridiculous. Not just, of course, at the top of the table, but in the middle of the standings as well. As you get a look at some of the most recent results. Big victory there for Brace Phantoms, 5-4 over Ghetto Firebirds, pulling off the double, in fact. So again, a huge moment for them as they continue to try and battle for one of those low-end playoff spots. Roots, though, dropping a crucial point against Almost Famous. Don't know if they picked up 2 points or 3 points. Perhaps it was an overtime game in that one. So again, the ever-evolving situation in the standings situation right now. I mean, it's just phenomenal to watch this league continue to develop here as we continue to go, as I mentioned, towards the postseason.
Yeah, and kind of interesting what is happening to Roots. They keep falling further and further down the standings there, especially like, I mean, they're hanging on to a playoff spot right now. But yeah, Brace Phantoms. They were sitting in, I believe, 10th when this day started. They're now in 6th. I mean, the movement, all you need is to get those 2 wins and you put yourself in a playoff spot. All you need is to get hot at the right time and you could be making the playoffs here and trying to get yourself as high into the standings so you don't have to perhaps face one of those crazy top teams here. But yeah, just so many moving pieces here when we're looking at the standings. And Ghetto Firebirds now find themselves out of the playoff spots, and Roots, dropping that game to Almost Famous it's got to hurt them a bit. Yes, they're in the playoff spot, but imagine what they could have done with that extra point there. So it's getting pretty hectic up here now, and Linköping now finding themselves in that 3rd place spot with the extra game played on Jyväskylä, and they really need to come back here in this next game and get their offense going, because it's pretty tough getting shut out, especially when you're the top offensive team. As good as HAVU is, I think you need to turn up that aggression a bit to try to match their style.
Absolutely. With the results from earlier, it is clear there is a big 3 as they continue to jockey for position. You get a look at the updated goaltender stats thus far. Again, Hanselinho up to 6th, or up to 6 shutouts, which is good for 2nd in the league, just behind Sibelius. Again, both goaltenders still spectacular stats at this point in the season. Absolutely tremendous numbers here. But all in all, again, it's going to be Hanselinho who's going to be feeling pretty good after that last victory. So, Sid, as we get ready again for our 4th and final game of this broadcast, the second between these two teams, we look at HAVU. More of the same, or is there something that they need to adjust?
More of the same. I mean, the fact that they maybe take a few more shots, but I loved their forecheck, I loved their aggression, and they really took it to Linköping early on, and we saw that even in the finals last year. I mean, Linköping had to get that come-from-behind victory, and as spectacular as that was in the early going in the series, HAVU just flat-out looked like the better team, and in that first game, HAVU flat-out looked like the better team, and it's kind of crazy when it comes to it. And then you start, it's almost like a rock, paper, scissors matchup. And in the front 4, I mean, hREDS beats HAVU twice. Now HAVU is taking it to the number 1 offense. I mean, like, who are the best teams? It's just so many, it's just so in flux, so many moving pieces as we talked about. And, Linköping, I think they should forecheck a bit heavier. You don't have to necessarily get you that hitting game going because they don't seem like they're used to it. They don't necessarily have the big hitting builds either. They really prefer speed, agility, and trying to use those defensive skill sticks, get themselves in good positions. So you can still forecheck without hitting. I mean, hitting's great. You can still forecheck, though. Sometimes a hip check along the boards can go a long way, but as we see Flyer Kungen do so often, is using that defensive skill stick to forecheck. So I'd like to see Linköping step that up a bit here in the second game and really try to get their offensive guns going, because the transition game's nice, but when you can get your cycle game going, you keep HAVU out of your end.
Absolutely. As you get a look at the updated numbers here, again, Linköping still the league's top offense with 94 goals, but shut out in that last game, down to 19-1-1 on the season. Crucial 2 points for HAVU to try and pick up here in this next game. Again, you saw Jyväskylä right now in terms of the point percentage. They're looking really good. HAVU need these 2 points to try and get that little bit of separation. Sin, we are ready to go. Our 4th and final game of this broadcast. Game 2 between HAVU and Linköping. HAVU, of course, in the black and green, Linköping in the white. Let's see how this goes. How will Linköping respond to dropping that first game in overtime? As HAVU, a couple of quick chances here. Dominoiti, who scores the goal, dishes off to Polanco. Deflection bid doesn't go. So a good early block there by Jay Toro. Again, some power play opportunities for both teams as well that we're not taking advantage of. So Loimu tries to work his way through, and he can't do it. We'll see how, really the opening 10 minutes of this period goes. Because again, the neutral zone battle was a huge factor in the opening stages. Good turnover created here, though. Chance for playmaker, now down for Eki. Eki tries to throw it back in front, scrambled and fought for. But he kicked all the way back out to the neutral zone, though. So a good chance there, Sim. We already saw an example of Linköping being a little bit more aggressive on the forecheck.
Yeah, and it's good to hold the blue, that side of the blue line, even if you're a defenseman, to try to force those turnovers, or the defensive center, the last, forward back, or the first one, on the back check there. And we saw it pay off for them. They got a couple chances in tight. They're going to have to do more of that. As I said, you don't need to hit to create those turnovers. Good stick lift, good defensive skill stick can go a long way.
Opportunity here to try and get into the zone. They can't do it. HAVU, great job right now patrolling the neutral zone. Dominointi racing for this one. Can't come up with it. Eki able to secure it. Here's Playmaker now. Again, the league's top goal scorer. Shut down well in that first game, though, by HAVU. Stretch pass doesn't find its way over to Dominointi. Again, though, the pressure. Toro tries to find space and gets the outlet pass for Loimu. Still in possession now. Finds Eki. Finds Patslov somehow onside. Incredibly close. It's amazing how they're able to time that so consistently. Flyer Coogan tries to hold in the neutral zone. Can't do it. HAVU able to win it back. So, again, as expected, the neutral zone game ever present between these two teams. The big step up into a hit on the offside call. Villikun gets decked as we approach the halfway point of this first period.
Yeah, and, I like it. HAVU got off to that quick start again, but I really like Linköping's game. They're being a bit more aggressive here on the forecheck. Even though they're not going as low as HAVU likes to, they're really trying to hold them at their blue line.
Chance here for Patslov. He scores! Odd angle does not matter. The captain finds a way. Or was that? No, excuse me. That was Loimu stepping up. I saw the yellow icon. Of all the players to do it, against him, we talked about Linköping and their ability to step up. It's Loimu on the rush. Presumed it was Patslov. Can't believe that found a way past Hanselinho. Regardless, Linköping have their goal. What a turn of events there.
Yeah, and that's why defensive build choice comes into effect right there. I believe Loimu uses a smaller build. I'm assuming a puck mover, and that gives him a lot of extra speed right there and a lot more, puck handling. And it shows off. That's his 7th goal on the season now. Might still be good. Yeah, still be good enough for 2nd amongst defensemen there. But yeah, just as you called it, a great play by him. And that's that Linköping kind of quick transition, quick fast break style. They get a goal right there and are on top 1-0.
Loimu finds Jay Toro here, throws it in front, just blocked. Nasastelia taking that one away. Sin, my one complaint, I'll get to it in a moment as Eki's able to intercept that one, can't get the shot on goal. My one complaint in those fast transition games, it can be a little bit difficult to tell, who is who essentially.
Yeah.
Just with the shade of colors between the center for the away team and the right defenseman as well. You can see there, it can be a little bit tough in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, orange, brown, yellow. I mean, those are very close.
Right. If we could have some different colors in NHL 21, I would be a big fan. But ultimately, I feel bad with as few goals as we've had from the defense of the Swiss. Rebound and score! HAVU responds. Incredibly fast goal there off the faceoff. Dominoiti has another one. You feel bad for blowing a goal call for Loimu and Linköping when we've seen such a great defensive display through these games that we've covered tonight, Sin. That time, though, we get it right, and HAVU are right back in this game.
Yeah, just a play right there from HAVU. The shot down low, the rebound right there. Dominointi just putting on his wheels going through that, and not too much Kape can do right there. An unfortunate rebound location, and just not able to slide over to guard that left side of the net for him. And tie game now. Quick response from HAVU.
A great heads-up play from Wanso to be able to generate that rebound as well. Again, we talked about it for HAVU. He's back in the lineup. So far, so good. Chance here, though. Playmaker able to hold on to it. Great job. Finds Eki. We'll see how Linköping respond. Wouldn't be surprised to see a high-scoring affair. Chance here. Jay Toro not able to find the space. Again, shot saved. Playmaker denied. Opportunity again. Shot denied again. Hanselinho stepping up right now. Linköping in response. Playmaker not able to find the net. Blocked in front. HAVU trying to recover. Trying to hold on. The turnover there. Patslov in front. Glove save. Somehow, Hanselinho able to track that one. So a great response from Linköping. Sin, as I was going to say, wouldn't be surprised to see this kind of just be an offensive explosion after the defensive battles that we've seen all night.
Absolutely. Oh, let's see.
Face off when Toro nearly found Patslov wide open. Chance here on the counterattack for HAVU if they can find the space. They do. Shot on. Saved by Kape. Kicked out to the corner. Playmaker finds Eki. Can he protect it along the half wall? He does. Eki tried maybe to find the pass, just couldn't do it. So we approach the final minute here. Playmaker has it, throws it in front, doesn't find its way on target. Blocked in front again. Playmaker still battling for it. Opportunity again now as they dish it back to the point. Chance. J Toro and Loimu working it around. Intercepted. Powanso finds Villikun. Can he find the space? Flyer Kungan looking, still has it. Flyer Kungan, charge on net. One-timer blocked. And Sin, a furious pace to the end of the first period. What a turn of events, all things considered. Again, Loimu stepping up to get the opening goal of this game. Confuse them for Potzloff and Sin. Maybe that's because, again, as we talked about, the defenseman able to get the job done offensively for both sides, as Loimu displayed there. All things considered, though, a ridiculous pace to this first period.
Yeah, almost kind of polar opposite in a lot of ways to the last game. You know, last game very defensive. This one has the makings of a game that could just go back and forth, almost shootout style, with a lot of goals being scored. And that's what really separates these great teams, you know, from the sort of middle of the pack teams, is that their ability to make adjustments from game to game and just almost seem like another team. We saw quickly there from the stats, Linköping all over HAVU, the majority of time on attack, more of the shots. It's tough that the scoreboard is tied, but I really like that first period from Linköping. They forechecked a lot more. They didn't start skating back the second the puck went loose in the offensive zone. We saw it a couple times there, especially from Eki and Playmaker, really staying down low to force those turnovers, keep their cycle game going, and it allowed them to maintain the pressure and keep HAVU on the back foot. I want to see a lot more of that fear from Linköping in the second, because we know HAVU can score goals. Linköping's going to have to open things up, get some scoring of their own, and create some separation.
See what happens here in the early stages of the second period. Big hit there, and Linköping not able to regain possession. I think, again, the boys of Jyväsyklä are loving this, watching these two teams tear each other apart. We'll see, though, who's able to keep up the pressure. Opportunity in front, drop pass there, perhaps. I don't know if that was the intended option. It's dish back to the point again. Chances they continue to cycle it. Huge hit there, though. Powanso's dropped. What can Linköping do on the counterattack? Again, Loimu stepping up, unable to find the pass. Here comes HAVU in response. Nasu looking for space, can't find it. Good pressure there again. Loimu all over the ice right now. Playmaker unable to find Eki on the pass. HAVU back in possession. Sin, the quick turnovers, counterattack, after counterattack, certainly on display. Makes it difficult to really get anything established as Eki has it in the corner. Circles back, can't get it in front. Recovered by Dominoiti. Trouble on the half wall. Can HAVU get it out? Dominoiti still in possession through that scramble. Takes a little bit of a tour of his own zone here. Can't find the outlet. Good poke check, though, to at least bide his defense a little bit of time to get reestablished. Linköping trying to find their way through now. 7 minutes gone here in the second period. Pucks drop back, and now again all the way back to their own zone. Let's see what happens here. HAVU looks to set up yet again. Powanso unable to find the pass. Sin, what's it going to take for one of these teams to find a breakthrough? We say, hey, here comes the offense, and now it's the neutral zone trap that's really shining.
Well, it's got to be some kind of a quick strike, a quick pass, and an area pass, a bank pass. We just saw it there.
In front, Playmaker hit the post. From what I could tell, again, a bit snake-bitten for the league's top goal scorer. Opportunity there. I think Flyer Kungan was looking for that quick outlet. His defenseman just didn't read it, as this one will go all the way back to the Linköping zone. So, huge chance there for Playmaker. You hype him up. Maybe it's the pressure right now. It's tough to say. Obviously, tough opposition. Chance here for Potzloff. Takes a little bit of a tour. Finds Loimu yet again. Back to J Toro. Shot, big save! Eki denied by Hanselinho. Great save there. Let's see what HAVU can do in response. Chance for Powanso. Can't get the shot. Secondary chance still, but it doesn't come to fruition for Flyer Kungan. Counterattack here now. Eki has space. Playmaker denied! What a save, Hanselinho! Linköping still on the attack. J Toro swings and misses on the one-timer. Loimu's shot blocked down in front, and ultimately Loimu's going to go to the box here. He tripped Powanso. So huge moments for both teams. Close calls. HAVU's going to go to the power play here, as this one will be touched up. Loimu going to the box. Huge moment here. Again, Linköping, not the strongest penalty kill in the world entering play tonight.
Yeah, and just an unbelievable couple saves there by Hanselino to keep this game tied.
Chance here down low, thrown in front. Couple of quick passes, maybe one too many as this one doesn't go through in front. Dominointi couldn't find an open target, so 30 seconds gone. HAVU, again, maybe just a little bit too much movement without pulling the trigger on a shot. Can happen when you look for one thing in particular. Villikun and Nasu working it around at the point. Shot from Pawanso doesn't find its target. Playmaker able to clear, so 50 seconds to go now on the man advantage for HAVU. We'll see what they can do on this rush. Perhaps one final chance to get established with the man advantage. Dominointi tries to hold, he can't do it. And actually does manage to hold the line on the second chance. Pawanso, what a move! Not able to find the space. Chance scores! What a shot from Villikun! Finding space through a ton of traffic. HAVU take advantage of the man advantage and are back on top. It's 2-1.
And that's why you just can't give too many opportunities to this HAVU power play. Fourth in the league coming into the day, and they just capitalized right there to take the lead. And now you think back to those saves by Hanselino prior to the power play, they look enormous. But as we take a look here, just a bit of patience and a quick shot. I like that from Villikun. Sometimes just throw the puck on net. He saw the traffic, he had a bit of a lane and tried to pick that corner. A great shot location too. You're either going to score or create a rebound to the corner, which someone was sitting there right able to pick up. So great awareness and a great decision from Villikun. And as a result, his team is now up top 2-1.
Huge moment there for HAVU. We'll see how Linköping responds in the final 2.5 minutes of play here in the second period. Again, HAVU taking game one by the score of 1-0 in overtime. We've seen the goal scoring show up a little bit. Chance on the rush. Close call for Flyer Kungen, just couldn't work his way through. We'll see what happens here in response now. Linköping trying to make something happen. They have space. Eki can't find playmaker. Second chance. Hanselino protecting. It stays out. Final 20 seconds. Pawanso recovers. Does he have time? Tries to feed Dominointi. Can't do it. 4 seconds to play. Flyer Kungen can't come up with it. And Sin, that will do it for the second period. So a phenomenal turn of events here. HAVU back on top as we head into the third period. 2-1 the score.
Yeah, and a very, very kind of uncharacteristic penalty coming out from Linköping right there, but it was one of the defensemen too. Loime, it was a tough play by him. It was a good look to go for that, the kind of sweeping skill stick. It just didn't pan out for him, and yeah, that's only 4 shots from HAVU, but they have 2 goals off of it. Really getting their opportunities and capitalizing on them. Just what a shot right there from Villikun. We get another quick look at it, picking that corner. Kape, just a myriad of bodies in front of him. Not too much he could do. Positioning was good. It was just an almost perfectly placed shot right here. So Linköping, we're going to see them in about as full of aggression mode as they can get. But the good news is for them, they are very good at coming back from deficits. So we'll see if they're able to pull some of the magic out.
Eki can't pull the trigger. Does ultimately. It's behind Hanselino. But it's ultimately covered, so a huge chance there. You talk about what opportunity was available. The quick chances, the attack for Linköping. It happens there. They win the draw as well. Playmaker has it, looks to throw it in front. It'll find its way all the way back. Sin, big moments here. Again, crucial points at stake, as it's not just the mix for the final few spots that's interesting. It's the hunt for that top seed, the bragging rights. And Sin, Linköping going to the power play here. It's going to be a charging call on Villikun, the right defenseman for HAVU.
Yeah, huge opportunity here. It starts with the face-off, but Linköping need to find a goal here on this power play.
Back to the point now. Again, couple of quick passes. Playmaker with the snipe, and he scores! The league's top goal scorer finally finds a breakthrough. Linköping make him pay for it.
Wow, what a play right there. And I mean, that's the danger of giving up power plays against any elite team. It doesn't matter what your percentage is. All that matters is the chances you get in the present moment right here. And just such quick passing. I believe that was almost a mini slap shot right there. And it finds its way into the net. Eki, what a shot.
A fantastic turn of events for Linköping. I don't think you could ask for a better start. You get that early man advantage, and you take advantage of it. Again, HAVU with the top penalty kill in the league entering play tonight. Might not be the case as Playmaker finally finds the back of the net. Again, talking about it now, 47 goals on the season. We are tied and due, I think, for a very interesting, final third period here. It might not be the final period of play, though. Time will ultimately tell, as of course Sin and I do have the tendency to end up calling overtime games. Haven't really seen it much as of late, but just when you think it might not happen, chance here for Flyer Kungen. Can't get it off the spin. We'll see what happens here now. Linköping back in possession, taking their time on the breakout. Playmaker runs into trouble, though. Flyer Kungen there, always on the attack. Dominointi having a bit of trouble. Chance now for Playmaker. Can he find the space? Can't get the move into the middle. Those quick hands nearly on display. As HAVU get it back into the zone. Dominointi has it. Kicks it back to the point. Nas is there. The one-timer and a big save. Again, Villikun had the opportunity. Just doesn't find the back of the net on this attempt. You're going to love HAVU getting the defense involved, though.
Definitely, and they love to do that, especially on the back end, and it's worked for them. Those sometimes low shots for the rebounds. They get another chance here off the face-off win.
Nasu back to Villikun, looking for space. Dominointi, the shot glove save by Kape in spectacular fashion as well. A highlight reel save there.
Wow, just incredible positioning there from Kape, but it seems like that's what HAVU
replays in.
Yeah, I was just gonna, that threw me off. Wow, cool. Thanks for that one. But yeah, they're really trying to test him up high with those slap shots, and just seeing if how far he plays back in his crease, they could capitalize on it.
Another win for HAVU. What can they do? Polanco still has it around the back of the net. Tried to feed it in front. Still fighting for it. Can't find Dominointi. Eki was there. Turns it over. Still in the offensive zone here, though. Let's see what they can do. And the answer is nothing. As Linköping is able to regain possession. We approach the halfway point here of this third period. Eki drops it back for Loimu. Again, back to Eki. Has it down the half wall here. Into the corner, back to the point. The awkward angle deflected in front, and he scores! Unbelievable! What a play, Sin! It's Loimu in front again!
A deflection goal for a defenseman. That is not something that you see happen too often, but what a decision there by Patzloff to just throw that puck on net, and Loimu perfectly there for the deflection, and not too much that Hanselinho could do on that play. Just that's why you throw the puck on net from weird angles and odd places sometimes. You can catch them by surprise. They had HAVU kind of spread out, running around a bit too much in the zone, which gave Loimu the space up front, but they may not be done.
Playmaker, he nearly found his way through. Loimu's second goal of the game for Linköping puts them back up on top. It's 3-2. A big third period for them, down 2-1 to start. They're back in control, but we might not be done yet. Here's Eki. Bit of space, shot, rebound. Hanselinho has a bit of trouble, but Linköping can't find the back of the net on this one. 7 minutes to play as we are in store, I think, for a fantastic finish here. Down the wall, Playmaker has it on his off wing. Back to the point, bit of space. Patzloff the shot, doesn't find the net. HAVU back in possession now. Dominointi. We'll see how HAVU respond. Again, picked up both points in that first game. Who is going to be able to walk away with the winner's share of the purse? HAVU have tied the game. The deflection in front from the captain, Flyer Kogan. We're tied at 3.
And Jay Toro has to be kicking himself. He had more time. He didn't need to rush the breakout pass. And his team pays for it. Another deflection goal, but he had a bit more time than I think he thought he did. Tried to kind of with a bank pass, but unfortunately it bounced right to a HAVU stick. They get the puck back to the point. A quick shot, deflection goal. Kape a little bit hung out to dry right there. Went right through his legs.
Chance for Linköping now again on the counterattack. We're tied at 3. Loimu down for Patzloff. He and Eki working it around. Patzloff couldn't get the pass in front. We'll see what happens here. HAVU on the counter. Looking for that bit of space. Flyer Kungen couldn't find it. He has it on the half wall. Dominointi for Polanco. Throws it back in front. Not able to pull the trigger on the shot. Linköping looking for space. Playmaker has it. Looks to protect and defended expertly by Villikun. Final 2 minutes here of regulation. Game 1, a 1-0 overtime victory for HAVU. Now here in Game 2, trading the lead back and forth. We're tied at 3. Powanzo looking for that bit of space. Tried to throw it on, was unable to do so. Great chop from Playmaker, but an even better job by Powanzo to maintain possession. 50 seconds to play now here in regulation. Flyer Kungan working with Villikun to try and find space. Potzloff comes up with it, tried to get it back to Playmaker, but again, HAVU able to maintain possession. See who's able to find the breakthrough here as HAVU maybe just kind of winding down, essentially winding down the shot clock here, trying to make sure they have one of the last few chances. Powanzo tries to throw it on. Kungan throws it into the middle. It's not there. Chance for J. Toro. Finds Playmaker. 20 seconds to go. Eki for Loimu. 2 goals in this game for the defenseman. Back to Eki. Fakes the slap shot. One-timer blocked in front by Villikun. Still fought on for. HAVU have it. Final 10 seconds. Nasu can't get over the line. Here comes Linköping one more time. Potzloff, 3 seconds. Hit by Villikun. Sin for the second time in as many games. We are going to overtime. 3-3. Not enough to decide it in regulation.
Yeah, I mean, just back and forth action right there. And Linköping kind of feel like they let that one slip away. I mean, a tough turnover in your own end, a mistake that you just simply can't afford to make playing a team like HAVU, because as we saw there, they can make you pay for it, and they did just that. And you know, it's another overtime. You get a point, but if you're Linköping, you feel like you really need to get this extra point right here, because HAVU already sitting pretty with 3 points on the day. If they lose this game, not the end of the world. Quite clearly, they prefer not to, but again, they already have 3 points, and now Linköping only with 2. You know, the best they could do at this point is tie HAVU with points on the day. So they really need to have themselves a great overtime and not let themselves get beat early on as they did last time. They got to come out as aggressive as they were in that entire game to match HAVU and try to get, you know, the pucks in their offensive end and really put the pressure on, because that's when I think Linköping is really at their strongest, when they get that transition game going, their speed game, as well as, you know, some established attack. We saw it, you know, a great shot by Eki. Deflection goal. I mean, those are 2 that stem from having a great cycle and a great offensive zone pressure. So I think they're going to really need to do that early on here in overtime so they avoid a second defeat.
Don't blink. You might miss the end of this game. HAVU scored within the opening moments of the overtime in game 1. We'll see what happens here. Again, another very valuable point up for grabs. Playmaker finds Potzloff. Eki, bit of space. Teston's into the rebound. He scores! Don't blink. You might miss it. Playmaker finds the back of the net yet again. Linköping take the points. Both teams will walk away with 3 out of 4. How do you like that, Sid?
So much buildup each time for these overtimes, and each time they're over almost as quick as they began. And guess who? Playmaker getting the game winner, being the hero here, and that puts them up to, I believe, 47 goals on the season and 12 game-winning goals, which may be good enough to put him in sole possession for... Actually, no. Didn't Dominointi get the game winner last game?
I do believe so.
So never mind. Dominointi and Playmaker dead even in game-winning goals. I mean, you want to see an even matchup. HAVU and Linköping just about as even as it gets. 2 overtime victories, 2 overtimes ended, you know, quick succession. And wow, 3 points for each of them, still dead even in the standings.
Again, a huge turn of events as we continue to track the mad scramble at the top of the league table here. Huge night for all 3 teams involved. And again, we talked about it, the opportunity for hREDS to make it a Big 4, and you just kind of see that difference in level. A great job by HAVU to respond from hREDS pulling off the double against them. They walked away with 3 out of 4 points. Of course, you also seen Linköping walking away with 3 out of 4 points as well. Shout out to Timothy for those gifted subs. You'd love to see it. Respecting the content. That's what we're all about. But again, a huge night for Jyväsyklä as well. The Big 3 absolutely proving themselves to be the Big 3, and we see why. But again, as big of a win as tonight was for Jyväsyklä, if we focus on the 2 teams, of course, that we just covered. For HAVU, you know, you drop that last game, you can't pull off the double, which would have been even more impressive. But again, a very crucial 3 points for you. A solid team effort, all things considered. I mean, Hanselino, talk about the goals that went in against him, a couple of deflection bids, a couple of the snipes as well. But when you talk about the meta in this game being throw the puck in front, just look for those scrambles and see what happens. It's just the way the goaltending works in this game. You can sit there and talk about, oh, well, they should have done this, they should have done that. But, when you talk about the meta, it's like, okay, what am I most likely to face? That is what I need to focus on. You have to essentially decide, how would I prefer to get beaten? Because odds are I'm going to give up a goal. That's just how playing goaltender works in most sports. Odds are I'm going to give up a goal. What is the way, what do I need to look to? What's at the top of the priority list in terms of what to cut out? And I think we saw that with the way both goaltenders play, and ultimately with the way the majority of goaltenders play in NHL 20. It's a matter of taking away the bottom of the net in case of those low scrambles. But for Hanselino, again, it was a very impressive first game, getting the shutout as you do. Second game, though, perhaps a little bit more frustration. Again, Loimu had a spectacular game, of course. We saw deflection goals, ultimately the snipes from Playmaker, which is only so much you can do. But all in all, again, still a very solid performance for HAVU. Polanco was huge in terms of getting back into the lineup for HAVU as well. So not surprising, of course, to see them walk away with 3 out of 4 points.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost I wouldn't say best case scenario for both teams, but I mean, when it comes to trading, wins here, you can either both leave with 2 points or you can both leave with 3 points. And, for both Linköping and HAVU, I mean, walking away from the day with 3 points is almost it kind of, as good as it gets for both of them when you consider all things. And so, I mean, it's pretty interesting, and it definitely sets them more ahead of Jyväsyklä again. So if Jyväsyklä was really hoping to, work their way up the standings, they got those 4 points. They make a little bit of ground, but Linköping, HAVU, still right on top of things, picking up those important points. And what a matchup that we had in store for you guys here today. And it really proved to be worth the hype. I mean, 2 overtimes from 2 of the top teams, and some of the goals being scored and just some of the action. We had the goaltender duel in the first one, and the second one, bit more wide open for the offenses to, go to work. And what else can you ask for? Just another entertaining day of EASHL 6s.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, you talk about it. The one downside to us getting to call the games here for the top 4 in the elite division at this point in time is the fact that we only get 2 games, because we've seen what a HAVU and a Linköping can do when you give them a best of 7 to work with. But again, the good thing is the playoffs are right around the corner. I want to quickly touch up upon the Linköping lineup as well before we look to wrap things up here. And again, you talk about the unfortunate moment of being shut out in that first game. Not a single goal, but you respond well in kind with a 4-goal performance. And again, you expect to see Playmaker score goals, as we have talked about now. 48 goals in 22 games. But Loimu, stepping up, was second amongst defensemen in goals with 6, now up to 8 in 20 games played. So impressively done, all things considered, for that Linköping lineup. So, Sin, I think it kind of, really sets the stage for, it's like, okay, what are we, what do we take away from this? At the end of the day, you got 3 out of 4 points, even with the, some of the things you might not have been happy about. It's still a situation where you get to walk away happy.
Yeah, and obviously you prefer the 4 points, but 3 points, as you said, I mean, you have to walk away with your head held high. You just took on, the team that you faced in the finals for 7 games last year, and, you traded wins, and each of you walk away with 3 points. It's almost seems like it could have been a handshake deal for both of these teams. Hey, we want to stay at the top of the standings. We'll beat you in overtime. You beat us in overtime, but these guys are so competitive, so good, and have so much pride that quite obviously they wouldn't have agreed upon anything like that. You want to be able to knock them down in the standings as well, but it's just goes to show you how even these 2 teams are. Best, they went to 7 games in the finals. They just traded overtime wins here. If they go up against each other in the playoffs, sparks will fly.
Absolutely. And it is what we have come to expect from teams of this caliber. We are biding time to get you a look at the updated standings at the top of the league table as well. Friendly reminder, if you're sticking with us on Twitch, first and foremost, we do thank you. Drop the channel a follow if you haven't already. Of course, check us out at nhlgamer.com for all the information that you need, not just on the ECL Elite Division, but the other 3 tiers of the ECL, the RCL as well, our Russian compatriots, also there, and of course the North American side of things with the NACL. Of course, it is playoff time. Very excited to getting back to calling overtime games, or overtime games more than likely, playoff overtime games to be more specific. I presume it's going to happen, but very excited, of course, to get back to calling NACL action as well. As we get into the semifinals, you're seeing the best of the best there at that point, and it's a very exciting situation that I think is going to get even more exciting as we continue along. Of course, hit us up on Instagram and Twitter as well at NHL Gamer. And of course, a friendly reminder here, and I'll remind you in just a few moments as well, but Sid and I will be back Thursday night, Thursday afternoon, call it what you will, with 4 more games. We have Roots against Checkmate, and we'll be seeing hREDS in action yet again against Luleå Hockey. So a couple of big games coming up as well later on this week. Although, Sin, I do want to point out 1 week from today, Monday, the 11th of May, Jyväsyklä and Linköping kick things off with that broadcast. So
I can't
big
wait.
Games coming up here. Big games coming up down the stretch of the regular season.
Yeah, I really can't wait for that Jyväsyklä versus Linköping. I mean, it's the number 1 offense going up against the number 1 defense. And we just saw Jyväsyklä, shut out hREDS twice. And hREDS were really finding ways to beat HAVU too. So, as I kind of alluded to earlier, it's almost a rock, paper, scissors. Does offense beat defense? We have hREDS beating HAVU. HAVU beat Linköping. Linköping came back and beat HAVU. I mean, things can get crazy. So yeah, I'm very excited to see the top defense go against the top offense next Monday.
Absolutely. As again, you get a look at some of the latest results. Big night for Brace Phantoms, pulling off the double against Ghetto Firebirds. Roots, splitting a series with Almost Famous. Almost Famous, you're not entirely out of it yet, but I mean, hey, you can at least battle for a good finish, although, time is winding down. Unfortunately, again, the opening 2 games of this broadcast, we followed Jyväsyklä pulling off the double against hREDS, back-to-back shutouts for Sibelius. Outstanding numbers for the top goaltender in the league. Of course, you also see there SJ Gaming and Färjestad, 2 teams involved in the mix. Gotham Knights and Luleå as well, still battling to try and work their way into the playoff structure. Again, just moments away from getting you an updated look at the standings. But again, phenomenal night of games, more defensive at times up until that final game where, surprise, surprise, I wouldn't be surprised that if there was some sort of gentleman's agreement where they're just like, yeah, no, let's score some goals in this one.
Yeah, I mean, like that first one just so defensive. I think it's just like an unspoken thing. That's how good both these teams are. Like, okay, let's score more, especially Linköping. They were maybe a bit too passive in that first game. And, they took the L and they say, okay, we got to come back, make the adjustment. They make the adjustments, score 4, including the overtime winner. And, tough break a couple times for them in their own end with some turnovers and HAVU kind of jumping on him and capitalizing on it. But yeah, I mean, both of these teams, they proved why they're so good. They can have a defensive game, be very tight, and they can have a more offensive game. And finally, we get a look at the updated standings. Jyväsyklä vying for that 1 or 2 spot.
Again, you want to talk about point percentage right now. Jyväsyklä in the driver's seat. They have the highest point percentage in the league right now. Now it's just a matter of taking advantage of the games at hand. 2 on Linköping, 4 games at hand on HAVU, and just 2 points back. So all in all, a phenomenal situation there as that top 3 will continue to fight it out as, again, they established tonight. It is a strong top 3. Excited to see how that plays out. But then again, from there, I mean, you look at hREDS, you still have 2 games in hand on Kova, but there is a battle for those spots, 4 through 8. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be able to work their way into the mix. I mean, unfortunately, Almost Famous is really the only team that's kind of out of it right now, but you talk about Vesapampa, and down in 15th, they have some games to make up. Of course, the left side of the bracket is where you want to be. So the playoff picture, aside from our top 3, is certainly not set in stone. We're also going to get you a look at the updated skating rankings as well. As there you see, I mean, the names that we saw tonight, the only names we didn't see, Volexit and Miza at the bottom there, but Playmaker, you see leading the way, 10 points on teammate Eki, 48 goals, still 20 more than the man in second place, that being Dominointy Sin. That is absolutely stunning.
I mean, he's averaging over 2 goals per game. That is just absolute filth.
And I'm going to cut you off. You might be a little bit robotic, unfortunately. Not sure what's going on with that. But I have a feeling that you would tend to agree. So not sure if you're still in robot mode. We can test that out if you want to. But yeah, here, let's hear it. Are you still feeling a bit robotic, Sim? Let's find out.
I think so. Connect.
Yeah, you're still robotic. Okay. Well, hey, we tried. With that, we are going to end things here on a phenomenal high notes. Unfortunately for Sin, as the connection appears to be dropping right at the end. Sin, you're back in, which is phenomenal. Are you still robotic? Domo arigato. And now you just have no audio. Ladies and gentlemen, Sin is falling apart at the seams. You hate to see it, but damn it.
Figured it out.
Hey, he's back.
I'm human. I found my human form again.
How was your trip to the Matrix?
Oh, it was fantastic. You know, always a pleasure going down there and, you know, hanging out with some of the machine programs.
Absolutely. Did you have a point that you wanted to finish, or has it escaped
I've completely forgotten it, but just everyone, thank you for tuning in, of course, once again. And we look forward to seeing you back here for some more ECL action on Thursday.
Absolutely. So get ready for information overload to be thrown at your face. Again, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need, not only on the ECL side of things, again, with the 4-tier system we got going on, 196 teams, the races throughout every single division. Ridiculous, to be honest. Very intrigued, of course, to be covering the playoffs really across the board. Again, NHL Gamer on Instagram and Twitter as well, if you haven't checked this out there. But of course, very excited as the NACL playoffs are going on. You can get all the information you need on NHLgamer.com. Of course, Sin and I will be back on Thursday, this Thursday, the 7th of May, as that will be 20 Swedish time. I remembered. I did it. We'll be covering Roots and Checkmate. We will also be covering Luleo Hockey and hREDS. So again, very much getting to cover the hunt for the playoffs towards the 4 through 8 spots on that side of the bracket. And again, the NACL playoffs will be back on Sunday as well. Exciting things happening there as we continue to wrap things up with the postseason. For now, Sin, any parting words, or are you fearful for the robotics?
No, I'm satisfied, and I can't wait for Thursday.
Absolutely. So again, we will see you all soon. Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday again. It's a lot of action coming up as we continue to cover everything's related under the NHL Gamer umbrella. Again, a shout out to our sponsors at IS Esports and Prisma Gaming. You can find Sin on Twitter at SimForTheWinProd. You can find him on YouTube and Twitch as well at SimForTheWin Productions. You can find me everywhere: Twitter, YouTube, Twitch at Tuki24. Look me up on Instagram if you want to see how bad of a jersey buying habit I have. Spoiler alert, it's getting problematic. We will see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe. Have a good one. Take it easy.